beautiful sight here at Texas Motor Speedway as drivers, crews, and cars all out on pit road right now, getting ready to restart this race that started on Sunday. 52 laps are complete. Beautiful sight here at Harvick and created chaos this week, but chaos is nothing new here.
Streamception. Okay, while they're doing that, let me get my stream up on my phone, and we're ready to watch a race, I think. What day is it? There is a tropical storm coming through my area. But I am here to watch a race. Clint Boyer has been leading for 72 hours. Has anybody ever led a cup race for 72 hours? I didn't even think that shit was possible. To lead a cup race for 72 hours. Take it away, Rick Allen.
82 laps to go in this race. 52 laps. Very eventful because you see Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin only 2 points above the cut line. Chase Elliott one below is Brad Keselowski. And again, Carolina Mark Truex Jr. started the race with a 20-point penalty at the spoiler impounded before the race. So Jeff Burton, Steve Letarte, Rick Allen with you as we get ready for the restart of this race. And Jeff, we'll start with you. It's been a crazy 72-hour situation.
Yeah, it really has, and I think it's made the...
So I've come to the conclusion that this delay is entirely my fault. I complained and complained and complained so much about the aero package in the cars that the weather gods were like, all right, fucker, we're going to make you wait to watch this race so that by the time the delay is over, you'll shut up complaining about the cars and just watch the race. I learned my lesson. Hello, Lori. It's like I never left.
These crew chiefs need to make sure
It's still Sunday in my mind. And hey, we now have less time to wait till Martinsville. That's a positive to take out of this. Shockingly, I'm not at work during the race. You know, I knew when I was working yesterday, I was like, there's no way I'm going to miss the race. It's going to rain. And then sure enough, at work, I could get on my iPod and turn the radio on where the race broadcast would be. And they were playing country music. So I'm like, oh, I'm not missing a fucking thing. And then I got out of that lake area and had cell signal and was sure enough not surprised to see that, oh, it's still raining. Would have been nice to get the race last night. I came home after working all day. I worked hard. It's like, I'm ready to watch a race. Oh, well, I guess I'm not. And I got to tell you, that traction compound is ridiculous because as much rain and moisture and shit that they've had there, that shit's not wiped off the racetrack. I just ate, so I'm going to be coughing for a little bit because of my food allergy. Ow, that one hurt. We got a tropical storm coming through here, and allegedly I'm supposed to work tomorrow anyway. I texted my dad and asked what time. I'm hoping he just messaged me back and says, don't worry about it. That's what I'm hoping.
He lost his track position. Luckily for Denny Hamlin, more than enough racing in front of him to recover.
And we're going to transition Parker
This race,
back to
the caution came out on lap 45 for rain. Excuse me. We completed 52 before the red flag, 45 minutes into the race. We still got a long way to go. Love that Kyle Busch paint scheme. That new Skittles deal. I just noticed that. I wasn't paying too much attention Sunday, so I'm glad. It's the 72 hours at Texas. I'm glad to be watching a race. After long rain delays, you're always appreciative for anything. Even if it's Texas Motor Speedway. And from what I hear, Kevin Harvick's very optimistic that they're going to be okay, so that's unfortunate. Said the steering's straight. They think they'll be fine. They just got to, like, get back on the lead lap and fight through the dirty air like everybody else. Oh, my God, the red flag has been lifted. They're rolling.
absolutely not. I think we know the repairs we need to make. We will make those repairs. We'll still have a shot to win this race, Rick.
Yeah, and we're being told that pit road will be open so they can
Look
come
at
back
that.
to pit road.
Look at all the smoke coming out of those cars. That's
We have
weird.
been under red flag condition. You can't adjust or do anything to your cars in that situation. Here's what happened to Kevin.
Here's what happened 3 fucking days ago. I wish Harvick would have hit the wall harder. Nothing against Harvick, but I'm trying to win a championship here for one of my guys. So, of course, I'm rooting against Harvick. If I can knock him out of the Final Four, I like my chances.
Just would not turn, and he'll be right along off the gas forever, and the car just wouldn't turn. And that's what we talked about, Steve, with that traction compound, how slick it was. That ultimately is what he felt like got him in trouble. A little bit of moisture on that traction compound, it becomes more slick than the rest of the asphalt on the other parts of the racetrack.
So another big change. Obviously, when the start of this race happened, it was in the 60s. And now you're seeing the temperature high 40s. It has cooled off. A very different situation here as far as weather.
Yeah, the weather is going to affect this racetrack.
It is 48 degrees and partly cloudy. At my house, it's raining like a motherfucker. Because like I said, I'm right in the... Well, I'm not right in the middle just yet, but there's a tropical storm already throwing rain on us. So I'm just going to hunker down here. No storms or anything. It's just rain and wind. High wind and rains. I just checked the weather. It said the potential for, like, severe storms and tornadoes, not likely. So I'm like, hey, that's good. So we just get rain. We're working on Harvick's right front now.
Kevin, I want you to do this. This is the feedback we need. And you can see, I call that a fine adjustment. When you start working like that with a hammer, that's way more of a fine adjustment. I have to agree with Rodney Childers.
That's not allowed. Parking. Park Kevin Harvick. That is against the damaged vehicle policy. Kidding. But no, park him. Go ahead. Make my day.
And that all planned, as Steve mentioned. And Steve, they had the massive...
How's the race audio?
They had to warm up the cars for 3 straight days, right? So you see that tape on the left side of the hood there, beside the Hunt brothers? They actually had to take that tape off for 3 straight days and then reapply that tape back on. So every time they took the tape off to warm up the engine, they were able to look at the damage. And Rodney told me they learned something every day.
Is the race audio loud enough? The Seahawks pulled the Falcons. Hey, man, you're playing with fire with that defense being as bad as it is. Here's what you need to do. You should have traded for Everson Griffin, but you didn't. And you should have signed Clay Matthews. But at least you got Carlos Dunlap. Personally, I would have tried to get all 3. Carlos Dunlap, Clay Matthews, and Everson Griffin. They're not going to make your defense any worse. Hopefully Jamal Adams will get back healthy. But, look, I'm telling you, that's not going to win a Super Bowl. I really just... The Seahawks can gun their way there, like I said, but I just don't think that defense is good enough to win a Super Bowl. Arizona's very good. Arizona's very inconsistent. And every now and then, Cliff Kingsbury will make some, I won't say boneheaded play calls, but just some weird play calls. They're very inconsistent, but I said before the start of the year that the Cardinals were going to win the division. Now, I still believe Seattle will win it now. But before the season, I was on the Cardinals bandwagon, and I said they would win the division. And right now, they're in the hunt. The 72 hours at Texas is about to resume. We're under caution right now. Kind of glad because I was just not feeling it Sunday. Y'all could probably tell if you were here. I was not feeling it because of football and Texas and shitty race cars. That's why I was not feeling it Sunday. But I'm in a much better mood now. I'm ready for anything. I'm ready to accept and watch this race for what it is. Track looks dry to me. Is this the one to go? Is this the one to go? Okay, it's not the one to go. I wish it was the one to go.
He was in a wreck on Sunday. He went to the garage. They're trying to repair that car so they can have a little more speed. So, repaired a wreck from 3 days ago.
Oh, that's a better team than me, Jeff. I may have been looking at flights out of Dallas-Fort Worth if we were already wrecked. So we talked about Kevin Harvick. We've updated him, Denny Hamlin. We have
And hey, Kyle Larson to Hendrick Motorsports to drive the number 5 next year. Woo!
It's not just a clean start to the
The glory days are coming back, bitch. Y'all are going to hate Hendrick again like you did in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 14, 15. The glory days are coming back. Get ready. I'm going to be insufferable next year. I got Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott on the same team. And William Byron's going to have Rudy Fugle as his crew chief. Boy, I can't wait to watch that truck race Friday night. I hope Christian Eckes puts Ben Rhodes over the goddamn catch fence at Martinsville. So I can't wait to watch that race. And NASCAR better not say a goddamn word because they didn't penalize Ben Rhodes for that stupid shit in the truck race Sunday. Hey, Janet. So when Eckes takes out Rhodes, don't say a fucking word, NASCAR. Don't do nothing. Y'all can't say shit. They are perfectly fine with Ben Rhodes hooking somebody head on the wall at 180 miles an hour. So if somebody gets junked on a short track, so be it. Especially if it's a little pissant like Ben Rhodes. Wow, there's fans in the stands. Goddamn, people came back 3 days later. There's people in the stands. Shit, I would have went. And yeah, that's the one to go. We're going green next time. It's a miracle. Bitch, I'd be there. They look like they're at a Packers game, though. Look how bundled up everybody is.
All of these fans scan in. They have their contact information. So Texas Motor Speedway is going to label these as Texas Motor Speedway super hardcore fans. When they all get home tonight, in their inboxes from Texas Motor Speedway is going to be an email with a certificate. All of these fans are going to receive pit passes to the All-Star race, which will be June.
Hey, that's pretty cool. I was going to say, what about free race tickets for all these people that came out?
And the staff here at Texas Motor Speedway and the fan base.
So is the race audio good? Is that loud enough or not loud enough? I need to know.
For that reason, come back next summer, lose the jackets.
I never know if the race audio is quiet or too loud. So I literally have no idea how Boyer, Jimmy Johnson, and Eric Jones are up front. Pretty sure it's tire deal. Tire strategy, whatever. About to say I didn't pay attention much Sunday. I just remember Harvick hitting the wall and the red flag, and that's it. And remarking about how dangerous turn 1 and 2 is at this goddamn racetrack because of how fast they're going and how flat and wide that corner is.
By the way, did you notice the lights were off on the pace car?
Lap 57. Hey, Clint Boyer's 72-hour reign may be over, but he leads for now. Yeah, half the field looked like they didn't go on that start. Woo! Jimmy Johnson almost knocked the wall down. I hope they dried that traction area extra hard, okay? Because that was the slick part of the racetrack. Even though it's supposed to be the opposite. It's supposed to provide grip, not be like driving on ice. I'm streaming a race on a Wednesday night. Boy, I like that Kyle Busch Skittle Zombie paint scheme. That's pretty neat. Reminds me of that Elliott Sadler M&M's deal when the car was like gray. Ooh, Brad Keselowski lost a lot of momentum. He checked up so hard, William Byron had to like stop. I don't know what happened to Brad there. His car didn't look out of shape. He just got really slow. I saw Matt DiBenedetto and almost called him Paul Menard. Oh, whoa, Matt Kenseth. Bubba Wallace. Michael McDowell. Oh. I think that was Denny Hamlin's fault. That's what it looked like at first. Honestly, I think Kenseth might have just got really taut off of 4 and was backing down. Come on, Kenseth, you're the one that run into him. Although, like I said, I think Kenseth got tight off of 4 and couldn't stop, so he had to let off the gas and he got run over. That's what it looked like initially. Initially, I can't speak. I've been working hard. Not today, though. It rained like a motherfucker today. I sat on my ass. I played fucking Star Wars and GTA 4 today. Bubba's done. Kenseth's done. God, man.
He's already out walking back to his pit.
sitting waiting to race.
Oh, yeah, God, it's horrible. You've been waiting for 3 days, and you get 5 laps in, and now you're fucked.
Early. How disappointing that would be and frustrating.
I want to see a replay, but it looked to me like Denny's the one who got into the back of Kenseth. But I'm not saying it's Denny's fault. I think Kenseth might have just got tight and had to lift, and Denny didn't lift. A replay sometime today, NBC. I know you got it because you showed the wreck in progress.
You mentioned it. I mean, 72 hours. Yeah. They've been waiting to get back out there and race.
Well, the positive news, they get to go back to North Carolina, finally. Okay, here's a replay. Like I said, I think Kenseth just got loose or tight, like the car just stopped turning. Yeah, he got bad loose. And, oh, Denny Hamlin got into the back of him. So it's exactly what I said it was. Let's say you can't be mad at Kenseth. I mean, he got loose. Not mad at Hamlin either, but I was definitely right in my assumption there. I broke down that wreck before we ever saw a replay. My instincts were correct.
Right up in front of Denny Hamlin. Now out of control, Bubba Wallace.
And then Bubba's just an innocent victim. Unfortunately, he didn't take out Michael. Ooh, Eric Almirola got some of that. Unfortunately, Michael McDowell got through it. I wish McDowell would have just ate shit. Ooh.
Issues, but as fast as this racetrack is, you can easily separate the nose, have a hole in the nose. It will affect downforce.
Yeah, there's nothing in the front ends of these cars protecting anything.
Huge wreck.
I'd like to get a better look at the nose of Denny's car. God. Then Bubba didn't do anything wrong.
Nothing he could do, right? I mean, Jeff, that's just nothing he can do.
Sometimes you're just in the wrong place. That's all that was. Partner.
Boy, Denny and Kevin Harvick have had an eventful race over the last 3 days.
Take a listen what they had to say on the radio.
Alright, we'll look up the pictures of you got a little contact there. How bad do you think it was? It was pretty straight on. I'm sure there's something.
There's damage, but like Denny said, it was so straight on. It looks pretty square to me.
Maybe like they described some holes maybe
Just
around
patch it up and it'll be fine.
There, so we'll see if they do decide
Bear bond, motherfucker. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. Bear bond.
There is actually holes that they're trying to see.
Or bold strategy, just leave it that way so he runs like shit the rest of the day.
It's maybe some damage there they have to fix. So Jeff, in my mind, this is the time. If I'm the 11 car, I'm coming down pit road. And
Duh, Steve Letarte. Hey man, if I'm Denny Hamlin, I'm coming down pit road right here. No shit, he's got a fucking hole in the front.
It's not just the air that's no longer pushing on the nose, Rick, but
It's gonna kill your arrow. Just put some bear bond over it, you'll be fine.
basically, you're going to jam that air under the hood. That's going to take away a lot of front down.
There you go, bear bond. They got it on the wall. Look at it, ready to go.
Team looks like they're getting prepped.
Why am I not on a team? I know what to do.
This is the right time to do it. And if you're going to fix this car, now's the time to fix it, no doubt.
Shop and ship early.
The other day we saw the racetrack.
Order some extra bear bond.
Watch Denny Hamlin. He gets loose, but he had the advantage of no one being behind him, right? So sometimes
I do remember Sunday remarking about, boy, that looks like a lot of rain on those onboard cameras.
Denny Hamlin gets loose, traces up the racetrack. The same thing Matt Kenseth was doing, but someone was behind Matt Kenseth, and that was
Matt Kenseth.
Some things in racing that something may start. See right here, Matt Kenseth gets loose the same way Denny Hamlin got loose, but someone was there, and that contact sends Matt Kenseth around.
Why do crew chiefs and drivers have sleepless nights in the playoffs? What did Denny Hamlin do wrong there? I mean, nothing, right? So fortunate to get through this, but say he was the 43, right? Somebody else's accident.
You lose track position, you're running the risk of getting caught up in something like that.
The problem with that little bobble that we
Texas has been weird ever since the repave. Not necessarily in a good way either.
in that position right then, and he's in that position, and all of a sudden the 42 spins in front of him.
Well, he told us, right?
Clint Boyer continues to lead over 72 hours later. You got to admit that it's still remarkable.
These are the moments that NASCAR wanted, right? They wanted the Game 7 moments.
Game 7 moments. I cringe every time they say that.
Great first 8 innings. It would stink to go out right here in the 9th inning, but I think that myself and Kevin have really did a great job of solidifying our spot in the regular season, and
No, I don't think my dad's texted me back yet, so I'm still holding out hope that we just don't go anywhere tomorrow either.
Get washed away really, really quickly.
Yay.
Just one race.
Yeah, Steve, that was just earlier today, about an hour ago, a little over an hour ago when he was talking to us.
What does he say? Game 7 moments, and he said he's had a great 8 innings. This is the 9th inning. He related it to baseball because he has.
Once again, with the stick and ball sports comparisons that just annoy me. We're not a stick and ball sport. We're racing.
Why, that's pretty good. By most people, it's a little weaker than he was earlier.
Oh, Denny Hamlin's going to have to punt on this fourth down. Ha 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 ha. Fucking stupid. Denny will be fine. He'll patch that hole up. You know that car's fast. All that matters is you get a fast fucking car. It doesn't matter how good of a driver you are. Oops, did I say that out loud? Because I definitely mean it at this fucking racetrack. Unfortunately, for most of these guys, you got to earn that shit at Martinsville and Phoenix. So I guess, you know, Phoenix being the championship race is the best thing that could have happened this year. Because you'll actually have to go earn it. Air is not going to win you a championship this year. You got to get up off your ass and earn that shit. You know, next year, since NASCAR's changing the Darlington races to the high horsepower low downforce, can we do that for Homestead too? So maybe that race will be fucking worth something. Because if there's one racetrack that's awesome that this package is like cut the balls off of, it's Homestead more than any other. Homestead and Kansas to an extent, because to me Kansas is the best mile and a half on the circuit. But you really can't tell now. As you saw about 8 weeks ago now, it seems like, when the race at Kansas happened. See, this year is just so long. This year is a goddamn Atlanta Falcons game. It will not end. It will never fucking end. That's what this year feels like. It's like we're in one big, giant Atlanta Falcons game. And we're the Falcons, and we're getting fucked. And the game just won't end. I gotta go cash that check. You know, if I knew I was going to be off tomorrow, I'd say, hey, take me to the bank so I can throw this fucker in the ATM. Yeah, Kyle Larson to 5 next year. I was raving about that earlier, talking about how Hendrick Motorsports is going to have Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott on the same team, so everybody's fucked, basically. Chevrolet switching up their engine deal to where it's just a joint effort between RCR and Hendrick. One same Chevrolet motor. So I'm hoping that'll lead to good things. Because all the Fords have Roush Yates and all the Toyotas are TRD. Now Chevrolet will have all the same motors and shit. Bubba interview, this will be good.
Yeah, no, I just hate it for my guys for sitting around for 4 days.
He pulled the Chase Elliott. I hate it for my guys.
We'll wait, sit on the plane and wait and go home. I got 2 races left. It's unfortunate. The funny thing is, the only thing I think about is, damn, I didn't grab my hat. My mom's going to be pissed. My hair looks bad. So, on to Martinsville. See you.
Martinsville will be fun. It's going to be a good weekend this week, guys. Martinsville, I'm so excited. The only good thing about not being on the KISS Cruise is that I'm going to get to watch all the Martinsville's races. I wouldn't be able to do that because I'm supposed to be in Miami right now. As we speak, I should be in the Holiday Inn at the Port of Miami right now. But I'm not. I'm sitting here on my ass at home watching a race with y'all. Anybody want to make me feel like I'm in Miami? Anybody got any suggestions? By the way, I checked the weather. It's 82 degrees and sunny in Miami. And at my house right now, I'm in a torrential downpour. But at least it's cool outside. But yeah, I'm supposed to be in Miami. But I'm here with y'all. I could have streamed from the hotel room. I'd have brought my computer with me. Although the Wi-Fi at that place is pretty bad. The Wi-Fi at the Holiday Inn at the Port of Miami was not favorable to me last year. But we could have made a go of it.
I really want to get these guys a good run, maybe even a win, as we see the tape work on the 11th, Joe.
Yeah, these guys coming down pit road. I think this is a smart move right here. I know they don't want to get back in traffic again.
You're already back in traffic. What the fuck you gonna do? Run back in traffic with damage, or come down pit road, fix it, but still be in the back with like no damage? Why are they like, oh, I mean, you don't want to pit here? Well, of course you fucking do. You got a goddamn hole in the car.
I was going to say probably a little more damage than everyone thought on both sides of that front end. Meanwhile, his championship.
What race are these guys watching? Harvick's getting his shit worked on again. Yeah, Harvick's back on the lead lap. That's bad news.
Rodney Childers did ask Kevin Harvick, how was the car? He said, honestly, I never ran it hard enough to let you know. So really just kind of working on that body. That's it. Meanwhile, left side of your screen, Denny
Hamlin and Harvick both having just shitty races.
That could be a big swing here.
I live for this. Not because it's them, but because, you know, that dreaded, the I word. Implications. Rick Allen's favorite words. Say those sweet words, Rick Allen. Implications. NASCAR logo, but it just says moments. I can't say Denny has the worst luck in NASCAR. I would say worst luck in NASCAR. Dale Earnhardt Jr. probably like Dale Jr. probably all time has some pretty shit luck. But even I don't know if he's got it the worst. But Dale Jr. would have ranked pretty high on my list of like, wow, this guy's unlucky. Right now, Denny's, well, Denny has not had bad luck this year other than like Indianapolis and today. I'm really glad the Brickyard 400 is going away because somebody's going to get hurt at that place. Flat corners, those speeds, increased corner speeds because the dumbass aero package. Guys were shredding tires. I'm surprised Alex Bowman and Denny Hamlin didn't end up in the hospital when they raced there a couple months ago. So the Indy road course will be better for everyone and safer. I say that and watch somebody drive head-on into a tire barrier in the infield and get hurt or something. So I'm sure I just jinxed them. Unlucky. Matt DiBenedetto, kinda. Even though I just think DiBenedetto is extremely overrated. Like, I like the dude, but I think DiBenedetto's so overrated. But I do root for him. I want him to win. I want him to do well. I had that rant during the Vegas race, I remember, of like, I don't get the big fucking deal about Matt DiBenedetto. I've never really gotten the big deal about Matt DiBenedetto. He's never done anything that special. I know he hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but like, shit. Hey, are they going to make a short track in that infield on the backstretch to have the All-Star race on? Because I don't want to watch an All-Star race in Texas. I really don't. Gibbs looked pretty solid for the most part. Although, yeah, God, Hamlin at Martinsville. I just remember he got lapped. Corey LaJoie outran him the whole race. I do remember that. Oh, boy, here it comes, lap 69. Are you excited? They're coming around to lap 69.
At least you can be a little bit
Get excited.
What's happening already? Field working their way through 3 and 4. They'll be coming up on the Geico restart.
Ooh, there's the Geico restart zone. Look at it. Lap 69.
Jones making up row 1.
Clint Boyer, Martin Truex, Eric Jones, Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott. Excuse me. So much for their bold declaration that Truex had no shot at stage points. And I'm like, dude, stage 1's 105 laps. He's going to have a shot. Hey, as of now, I'm good with this point situation. Chase Elliott's 13 to the good. Truex absolutely has to win his way to Phoenix. I almost said Homestead. Chase Elliott had a moment there in the middle of 3 and 4. Anybody else see that? This looks like a super speedway race for the moment. Oh, Truex. A little out of shape there. Boyer's going to get away with the lead. Boyer continues to lead 73 hours later. Clint Boyer's going to lead this race forever. Remember how good that Xfinity race was Saturday? I'm trying not to think about it because it's going to blow this race away. Boy, turn 1 and turn 2 being that wide at Texas is pointless because they don't even use like 85% of it. Actually, I'll say they don't use about 90% of the racetrack over there. You might as well just narrow the damn track, build a minnow pond over there, and make the turn smaller. Darlington style.
But for me to be at the shop and everyone else to still be in Texas, I think that's a good thing.
Truex's car's not handling well in 2 at all. Keeps having to saw on the wheel, and it got a little tight that time.
I don't know if the competition wants to give Martin Truex Jr. any more time to prepare for Martinsville. He's won the last 2 races there. James Small is going to get a little extra attention to that car.
Oh yeah, Truex is not done until the checker flag waves at Martinsville. That's for damn sure. Of course, maybe this time they won't get a big hole in their right front to keep that right front tire cool for the last 150 laps of the race like he did back in the spring. He'll probably fail post-race anyway, so you know what? It's fine.
Let's go on board with Martin Truex Jr. Let's go for a lap at Texas Motor Speedway. Show you why this racetrack is so challenging. This end of the racetrack, a reconfiguration several years ago. A lot of banking out of the racetrack, all the way out of the gas.
There he goes again, getting tight.
Working on the gas, off the gas.
At least he had to lift. I like it when they actually have to lift,
Very low
even if it's just a little bit.
Turn 3, watch the throttle indicator. Wide open, never lifted. Why does he not have to lift? Because the car drives so much better on that end of the racetrack.
Because nobody has to lift in 3 and 4, Jeff.
Better make it drive well.
Doesn't really have anything to do with his car or not driving well.
Right here, all the way out of the gas. On the brake. This end of the racetrack is where the racetrack.
Hey, that's as good as Truex has gotten through turn 2 in a few laps.
Definitely the place where you have to handle as you're riding on board with Martin Truex Jr. Another crazy thing to watch is you're watching Danny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick in the back of the field. They're almost working together, trying to recover through traffic right here. Truex.
No, fuck that. If I'm Harvick, take him out. And if I'm Hamlin, take out Harvick. I'm kidding. But I wouldn't make life easy on him. I wouldn't be helping anybody.
Easy to kind of get pulled into attacking this corner almost too much.
Well, it's the strangest entry of any corner in racing, in my opinion. It's so wide. When they lowered the banking, when they took banking angle out of it, they did it by adding racetrack.
We got some debris on the racetrack. Some debris out there. Caution's out. It was out of the groove, but it was working its way down into the groove. So, and we have a caution. Our old pal Debris, Jacques Debris. Bonjour. Follow him on Twitter.
So the caution has come out once again. It's the 5th caution of this race. 5 different drivers have been out front. Clint Boyer for 29 laps. Kevin Harvick for 28. There you see that piece of debris.
I can't tell what it is, but you don't want to.
Looks like something from under a splitter.
This caution is again an advantage.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know what that is.
Right, Kevin Harvick has caught some brakes right
Harvick and
now.
Hamlin get to come down and work on their shit again.
Sunday, made contact. They got the red flag. They've been able to get on pit road. They've gotten numerous cautions. I think all of that.
You know, I liked going on the Kiss Cruise a lot better when it was Texas I was going to miss. Now, this year it would have been Martinsville. And if the cruise does happen next year, it'll be Martinsville again. But for a couple of years, it was like, oh, I'll miss Texas. I don't give a fuck about Texas.
Patient around the white line, which doesn't surprise me. That's Kevin Harvick's kind of MO, Rick. Those low grip corners, you think about 1 and 2 in Atlanta, 1 and 2 here, just patient around the bottom.
Well, he's been patient, and we're still.
We've all been patient.
Finishing up stage 1.
Been waiting 3 days.
In speedycash.com victory lane later tonight. And
Was it?
speaking of which,
Didn't Cup have a race at Michigan
$1,000 donation
on a Wednesday or Tuesday in like 06 or 07, whenever it was?
charity. So if you'd like to support
It's been a
the
long
charity,
time. I can't
please
remember.
Go to the URL that was on your screen. Marty?
And you guys were talking about Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin.
I bet these guys can't wait to go home and then turn around and go to Martinsville.
Early on, the cautions kind of falling the way they need to. They've made repairs to the car. He restarted. The last car on the lead lap has driven his way up to 21st. So this serves notice to everybody, Parker. If Harvick's out of your fantasy lineup, you might want to put him back in.
Hey, remember Harvick's still my pick to win. Where the fuck's Michael? Michael Curtis, where are you? I didn't hear from him Saturday. I didn't hear from him Sunday. Hope he's alive. Ooh, bold. Denny's not going to pit.
Continue to fix that damage on the 11 car and assess it as they go forward.
When we talked with Denny Hamlin
Cool. Come on. Text me and let me know about work tomorrow. So then I can be in a really good mood. You know, I really want to work and make money, but if I can't work, oh well. If you take the choice out of my hands, I'm not going to complain. Okay. Twitter, is everybody freaking out and jizzing their pants over the fact that we're actually watching a race this week? Bubba Wallace 8 minutes ago tweeted, LOLOLOLOLOLOLO. Okay, now I want to slap these fuckers on Twitter because somebody said, yeah, that fucker Denny Hamlin. I'm like, dude, yeah, Hamlin ran into the back of, you know, Kenseth, but it's because Kenseth got loose. But of course, you know, people are fucking stupid and can't use their eyes. And can we add some field turf to the infield grass instead of grass? Pretty please. Thank you, Texas Motor Speedway. I just saw that the October DLC for NASCAR Heat 5 is coming out. Not bad for a game I've played once in like 2 months. I really got to get back into that shit. I may have made Michael bankrupt because my Xfinity Series picks have been fire, son. I thought he could have retired after I didn't win that $20 at Darlington. When Truex wrecked Chase Elliott driving over his head like a fucking moron. You notice my patience for Martin Truex Jr. has run out. Look at that. Look at all that space in that infield back there. Make that a short track. Run the All-Star race on it. Counting on you, Eddie.
When they scan in, they know who they are. They can contact them. And these are the Texas hardcore fans. Are going to be contacted. They're going to be given pit passes for the All-Star race here next June.
I don't know what race I'm excited for more this coming weekend at Martinsville. They're all three going to be great. We're going to stream all three of them. I'm making my truck series return this week.
So these hardcore fans that came back on
Because I just have not been invested in the truck series lately.
some M&M's here, or whoever it may be, they're
Getting the one to go.
free passes.
There'll be 24 to go in stage 1 when this restarts.
They're listening to you, Steve. They're listening to you.
Free passes. Everybody likes free stuff.
Let's go to Marty.
I like free shit. Give me free money.
Kevin Harvick. A moment ago, Rodney Childers said, hey,
I ain't made enough yet.
car is good enough to drive up through the field.
Got that PS5 covered, though.
Quote, it's plenty good enough to drive up through the field. So a lot of confidence in the Ford camp with all those repairs they've made to the right side. And also, real quick on Kurt Busch, guys, they have been dealing with an overheating issue. He's made several stops since we've gone back under caution and back to green here, but he is 29th now. They've hit him once again under this caution to try and fix that overheating issue.
Today's aerial coverage brought to you by Geico, looking down on a dry Texas Motor Speedway. We haven't seen that for 4 days, so it's good to see.
I'm so happy that we don't have to see Texas Motor Speedway for almost a whole year after this.
Junior on the outside, once again,
Or whenever the All-Star race is, whatever.
Joe Logano once again making up row 2.
We can all just pretend that All-Star race doesn't matter, because it doesn't.
Restart didn't work out for him.
You know, for years they've been trying to, like, rebuild the All-Star race. I don't think putting it at Texas Motor Speedway was a good way to get people enthused about it. So. But there is a dirt track there as well, I'm just saying.
Field back in the hands of the 14, Brooklyn Boyer.
Come on, All-Star racing on a dirt track. We're running dirt at Bristol. Excuse me.
Oh, the 22 is right on the rear bumper. The 19.
Logano might get Truex the lead here. That's a straight-up two-car tandem. Logano's a great pusher and a great blocker. How tight's Truex going to hold him off of two? I wish they'd both just wipe out. That'd be funny. Take Logano with him. I think Martin might get this here. Got to hang on that door and hope your car sticks. It's sticking. Uh-oh, Boyer's lost his lead. 73 hours later. I don't know who led that lap. It has taken 73 hours for Martin Truex to take the lead from Bowyer. Oh boy, Truex got tight off of two. Bowyer was loose on the bottom. They're still side by side going down the back. Side drafting the shit out of each other. Boyer's car looks really unstable there. Martin's carrying a lot of speed on the high side. Eric Jones goes behind Bowyer. Is that a big fuck you to Joe Gibbs? Because I think he could have pushed Truex ahead of Bowyer enough for Truex to clear him, but we'll never know now. 3 wide, Elliott, Johnson, DiBenedetto. Bowyer reclaims the lead with an assist from Eric Jones. The redheaded stepchild of JGR, Eric Jones.
Truex really wants to make that work in 1 and 2. You saw him on the outside of Bowyer, as you were describing, Jeff. But he said in 1 and 2, he's just too loose, and you can kind of see that a couple of times. And then also in 3 and 4, a little bit loose. But 1 and 2 is where it's worse. Yeah, buddy, I think that's going to be the case all day. I think 1 and 2 is just where all of the handling issues are.
1, 2. There's only 4 playoff guys in the top 10. 3 really, because Brad Keselowski's fighting for 10th right now. He's hanging on. Well, Bowyer's not driven away from Truex, but you and I both know Truex is not going to make that pass because dirty air.
So disappointed they didn't advance into the playoffs, further into the rounds of the playoffs. They have been fast. They've been fast all year long. I think Ryan Blaney is a guy that can make some noise in these last 3 races.
You know, it sucks. I probably have to work Saturday now. I don't like working Saturdays. Even if I'm off a couple of days during the week, I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere Saturday.
Penske this year, 8 wins between the 3 drivers. 4 for Brad Keselowski, 3 for Joey Logano, and 1 for Ryan Blaney.
That's a battle for you. Yo, love that paint scheme, Lefty, for Jimmy Johnson. Way to go, dude. That's a nice paint scheme. Allies had some great paint schemes since they switched up from that dull-ass black car they had a year ago. Hey, you know Kyle Larson signed with Hendrick without any sponsors yet? They haven't actually convinced anybody to sponsor Kyle Larson next year. That's a problem. But if he signed, Rick Hendrick's probably just like, fuck it. If nobody will do it, I'll do it. HendrickCars.com. It's going to be on that 5 car a lot next year.
Big news coming out of Hendrick Motorsports, especially today. Earlier, it was announced
Rudy Fugle and William Byron. Don't look now. John Hunter Nemechek's just outside the top 10. I'm sure he will cause about 3 or 4 cautions by the end of the day. Let's not talk about Kyle Larson being a dumbass saying the N-word, okay? I'm glad he got reinstated. He's still a fucking moron, but I love him to death. I think the world of Kyle Larson. And I'm glad he's back, starting in February. Oh, yeah, Dale Jr.'s not there, have you noticed? Because he had to fly back home and tape the Dale Jr. download with Kyle Larson. I got to listen to that episode. If I have signal at this place in Lake Lure where I'm going to work, I'll listen to it. Actually, I can put it on my iPod. I'm just too lazy to do it. It's so annoying having to take the fucking files and download them and then move them to fucking iTunes and put them on the goddamn iPod. That's why I never put anything new on my iPod, but I really should. But I'd really like to hear Larson on the Dale Jr. show. What is my stupid ass dog barking at?
so much success at this racetrack. So many racetracks he's had great success at.
So I mentioned Kevin Harvick, there he is on the inside.
Harvick is 16th. Hamlin is what, 19th? 18th or so.
I know it's big news. He was eliminated for the playoffs.
God, look how bad Kyle Busch is running.
He talks about winless streak.
Kyle Busch is just not running well. He's like 15th.
That was high off the corner. I'm not sure how much damage it was. He has yet to go winless in his Cup Series career. Any season he has been in the Cup Series full time, he has won. Currently winless with only the finish of this race, Martinsville and Phoenix left. That's a big point for the team of Kyle Busch.
Right now, Keselowski and Elliott are tied for 4th in the playoff standings. Harvick's still 30 points to the good, but he's not going to get any stage points here, so that might narrow the gap for some guys. I wish Elliott was going to get more than 2 fucking points. Elliott's not running well either. He's 9th. Whoa, Keselowski.
Yeah, he turned left. He saw 3 wide. He turned left to get in the backstretch. He goes, oh, I'm going to fill that hole. I know there's going to be one.
But Brad, he cannot afford to go 3 wide. He's in these playoffs. He can't afford to wreck this early, Parker.
You like the paint scheme on Christopher Bell's car, the 95? I had a brain fart there and just instantly thought it was 2010 or something. Didn't even register to me that it's 2020 and that's actually Christopher Bell.
Points at all in the last 3 races in Texas. This has been a struggle for Brad Keselowski, and it's continued today as well. As we're looking also, guys, at the top 10, only 2 playoff drivers. I know Logano's a playoff driver, but he's already in the next round because he won last week. But only 2
Don't remind me.
in the top 10. And Chase Elliott just got by Austin Dillon for 8th place. Very unusual.
I've tried to block out that Kansas race because it pissed me off so bad. I'm hoping for better things today. I would die if Harvick's car just locked up and went straight coming off of 2. That'd be funny. Brad Keselowski'd be happy to see it. Boy, they're racing hard. Oh, God. Brad was in a 4-wheel slide coming off of turn 4.
Talk about high nerves. They're too wide, dicing it up. Kurt Busch right behind him, a playoff car. The 11 of Denny Hamlin right behind him. He's already missed a couple accidents. He don't want to have to miss another one. And more concerning, perhaps, is the fact that he is behind them. We see Kevin Harvick has moved through this group. Denny Hamlin in this 11 car, you know, no reason to panic yet, but I'm a little surprised he hasn't been able to keep pace with Kevin Harvick through traffic.
Right now, guys that aren't in a position to get.
Well, Harvick's damage looks pretty squared away. Hamlin's front end, it's patched up, but there was some of it sticking out.
Meanwhile, 8 to go in the stage, and when Clint Boyer took the lead on Sunday,
Truex still right there on Boyer. I told you he wouldn't be able to make this fucking pass, though.
giving it up. He has now led 49, coming to 50 laps here. So Steve, I think
7 to go in stage 1. Boyer's still leading 3 days later.
In 7 laps, you're going to opt for track position, I'm willing to bet, as a crew chief, Steve, because you've seen what Boyer can do, and Truex, who's come from the back, has not been able to pass Boyer. So that
Of course he hasn't. Have you not been watching all year? You can't pass anybody with these stupid cars. Oh, geez, getting close. I bet he gets tight coming off the corner here. Oh, look, he got a little tight coming off the corner. Ooh, I bet he gets close to the end of the straightaway. Yeah. Oh, good God, it just hit me that Boyer only has 2 races left after today. 5 laps to go in stage 1. Shut up, Jeff Burton. That's my joke. Jeff Burton's stealing my jokes now. And now they're talking about John Hunter. I just mentioned that to you guys like 15 fucking laps ago, that John Hunter was running 11th. You guys are slow, NBC.
Rookie season. A lot of times not the results they wanted, but John Hunter Nemechek has put this 38 car
Nemechek.
much further up in the field than most people thought it could go.
Eli Gold always said that shit better than anybody. Nemechek. How fucking retarded is that? Custer won Rookie of the Year because he had like one good race. Reddick had some momentum over the summer, but he's cooled off. Truex is still there on Boyer, but I bet you he don't make the pass. 3 to go in the stage. Hey, there's Timmy Hill. One here in the spring. Oh, wait, that was on iRacing. Bump and run on a 1.5 miles. Oh, that 77. Boyer got tight. He better block. Wow, Boyer actually has to block for this lead. Wow, ran Truex all the way down to the apron. Truex took a bad angle into 3 and got really tight. And Boyer drives away. Boy, that 77 wasn't trying to get in the way, but look how tight that dirty air made Boyer open the door for Truex, and Boyer had to slam him all the way down to the apron. I'm sure Truex is very happy right now. Oh, Jimmy Johnson really tight behind Blaney. Jimmy Johnson in the top 5. He always runs good at Texas no matter what. Chase Elliott up to 7th. That's another point. He was 9th a couple laps ago. 1 to go in the stage. Boyer with the Logano special.
In stage 1, and again, points paid at the end of stage 1 and stage 2.
Look at this aggressive-ass block he threw on this replay. Woo! And then look at Truex's car get out of shape going to 3. So Truex is definitely faster than Boyer. I think if Truex gets out front, which then again, if anybody gets out front, they're going to lead forever. But I think Truex could really drive away if he gets out front. His car looks good. Looks really good. Trump 2024 can sponsor Larson. Oh yeah, that fat cunt's going to get a 3rd term, right? So he thinks he is. I don't know.
A checkered flag has flown here.
There you go. Stage 1 winner, Clint Boyer. Add that to the Wasted Stage Wins YouTube series. I can't remember who made that video, but shout out to them. They got another one. Pretty much everything with Clint Boyer's wasted at this point. So that was the longest stage in history. 73 hours. I hope to never see a stage that long ever again. Let alone a full-blown 500-mile race. We still got a long way to go. Hey, Noah Gregson just popped up on my Twitter feed. Remember how happy I was Saturday? Oh, that was fun. That was such a good time. It's 5:50 on a Wednesday, and Clint Boyer just won a stage. The drivers are being cautioned to avoid the PJ1 in turns 1 and 2 as much as they can. It's not activated and is more treacherous than any sort of help right now. You know, it must be fun when you're a driver and you've got to avoid a track glue that was designed to make your racing better, but it's actually not making it better. It's making it worse, and now you have to not drive on it, even though it's on, like, I don't know, 75% of the fucking racetrack, but that's fine.
Take a look at stage 1 results.
Just avoid it, guys.
Points being paid in the top 10.
So, Chase Elliott 4 points. Truex got 9. He was second there. Truex probably should have won that stage. Truex is going to miss the championship 4 by 1 point because he's making up a lot of points right now with how Harvick and Hamlin have been running. And Keselowski, but it's going to take that to get Truex in. Keselowski didn't get any stage points. Harvick, Hamlin didn't. Kurt Busch didn't. And that's good for Truex. Ryan Preece says he feels like he's blowing up. He feels like he's on 7 cylinders. Maybe that's just how fast his car goes. Maybe there's nothing wrong with the motor.
You know, Marty reported about track position. And, my calculator up here had to go to the battery version. The solar version doesn't want to work with all these clouds. And there is a bit of a, the race is so long. 227 laps to go at this point. The next stage is still 105 laps. So this is one of the more difficult races to kind of back up and say, all right, I want to pick here and here and here. And I know I'm going to cycle to the front because you're so many pit stops out. You go, a little over 60 laps on fuel.
I bet they all pit.
Far to go in the race, you just wonder,
and I bet half of them take 2 tires. I bet you Harvick and Hamlin take 2 tires. How much you want to bet?
Fresh tires you have
driving your car. Steve, I always thought you called your calculator Russ, but maybe I'm wrong there.
Good talk, Russ.
Take a look. It's not
Oh, yeah, that was funny Sunday. I think Rick Allen made a
Wednesday, but next Wednesday,
Christmas Vacation reference, or was it Steve Letarte?
NBC Sports on
Whoever,
Sirius
it was funny.
XM. That's NASCAR Radio Channel 90. Jeff Burton there this morning to be a part of that broadcast. But again, Dale Jarrett will be there next Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Again, talking about Martinsville and how it just ended and getting ready for the Phoenix race, which is coming up quickly.
Yes.
Parker.
You guys have seen the whole field come down.
Everybody on pit
Goes to pit out of the 8th position, right at the end of that
I think you pit here, Rick. That was my Steve Letarte impression. You like that?
So I'll take a look at that when they already able to get it off the 22 car and boosted it up, Marty.
Parker Clint Boyer led the final 59 laps in stage 1 to get the win. The car fell off way too much.
Apparently I am working tomorrow. Whatever. If a tree falls on the house or we get stranded,
Life got blocked by Boyer. He said that was
I guess I'll just be shit out of luck tomorrow.
laps that would have gotten him. They're going with 4 fresh Goodyear tires here as well.
Alex Bowman, Christopher Bell, Clint Boyer.
No tires on that stop, Rick.
No tires for Bowman, 2 for Bell. Most everybody else took 4.
That track position was going to be, well, Bowman and Bell both playing a little strategy to get up front.
As business moves forward,
Shut up. That was not the news I wanted to hear. About 7 in the morning. Oh, fucking A. We go drown in the flood. Oh, man, I got sneeze. Ugh. Jesus. Basically, there's flash flood warnings around here. And it's especially bad in the mountains. Guess where I'm going tomorrow? Right near the mountains. Up in Lake Lure where I know it floods. Oh well. If I get paid for it, I'm happy. Whatever. I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. Then I gotta go back to that shithole Lake James probably Friday. I'm gonna hammer through Friday and try to get all my shit done so I ain't gotta go there Saturday. I'm sure something will magically appear for me to do. One of my cruise friends just messaged me asking about Spider-Man. Well, probably the next game I stream on my channel. I just have not felt inspired lately, but when Spider-Man Miles Morales hits, I'll definitely be all over that. Hope they know the morning the PS5 comes out, I'm going to Walmart. Work can wait. No, they don't care. That one guy's gonna act like an ass about it just to try to act like a boss, but I don't give a fuck what that fat prick thinks. I listen to my dad. I don't listen to anybody else. I don't care what anybody else has to say at that place.
The big news taking place. Here's a sample.
Ooh, free sample, Kyle Larson.
I've asked you to come on the show many months ago. I know you've been busy doing a lot of things, racing. I guess you are officially reinstated?
yeah,
Right?
yeah, officially.
I think our country's all about second chance, and people want to give you a second chance if you've shown that you changed. And I think that's the key. That are you just saying it, or do you really mean it?
Right after I got suspended, there was a lot of, emotions and thoughts and questions, in the very beginning of, like, what's my life going to be like now?
Well, help us become better people. Like, what have you, what specifically have you taken away and learned from it?
What I've learned a lot, obviously, is that, words matter, and accountability matters. Apologize if your mistakes matters. Treating others with people with respect matters right off after it happened. And I think instantly it changes you. But then as you educate yourself more, it definitely continues to change you. And I don't plan on stopping.
Hashtag
I've
woke
never
Larson.
wanted it to be a check the box thing.
Get Dale Jr. download. That's 9 Eastern tomorrow night.
See you in February, Kyle Larson.
Earlier today, Kyle Larson signed to a multi-year deal to drive the number 5 for Hendrick Motorsports next year. So the big announcement for the 28-year-old, he's going to be the oldest driver in the Hendrick Motorsports stable. They average 26 years old, so a lot younger organization now. Hendrick Motorsports. As we get ready.
Think about Hendrick in 2015. Casey Kane, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now it's going to be Chase Elliott, William Byron, Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman. Yay, stage 2. It's only taken us 3 days to get here. Good push on that inside line. Bowman is the leader. He got it on pit road. What happened to Christopher Bell? I thought he was up there.
Has him out front comfortably. Now the fight is for second.
Oh, Bell had to pit again. Never mind. I just read that on the leaderboard thing. Oh, yeah. Bowman led some laps here about a week ago, huh? It's only about a week ago.
With these cold temperatures, Steve, I know we've talked numerous times about the TJ1, that traction compound. It almost takes a little heat to activate it. With these cold temperatures, is that why we're not seeing anybody even venture up into it yet?
Well, hell, NASCAR's told them to stay off it. Well, they haven't told them to stay off. They recommended that you stay off it. How stupid is that? We live in a society where NASCAR puts some stupid shit on the racetrack and then tells the drivers, yeah, you might want to stay off that. It's like an obstacle course. You're surrounded by grass on one side and traction compound on the other. Stay in the middle.
He's trying to make sure he doesn't get past. It's 3 wide. Ryan Blaney was on the inside.
Oh, my God. Don't worry, Blaney will fade by the end of the race. I have no faith in Blaney for the rest of the season. Haven't had any faith in him for a while. Boy, he's blocking Truex like mad, so I'm kind of liking him right now. Boy, if Bowman wins this race, I'll shit my pants. Oh, if Bowman was able to win this race, I'd die. Looks good out front. Then again, everybody does. Especially when second, third, and fourth are running side by side by side. Jimmy Johnson solidly in the top 5 again. Still. Been that way most of the race.
Yeah, up to 4th. He's going IndyCar racing next year with Chip Ganassi Racing for the road course races.
And he's not scared. He just jumped right up there in that PJ1, the outside lane there, traction compound. Now,
oh my God. I thought Boyer was just going to spin out going to 1. He had to take such a bad angle because Blaney threw a block on him. And now it's opened the door for Jimmy Johnson.
We're going to take that spot away as well.
Jimmy Johnson going to 3rd place. Trying to, anyway.
Lots of hard racing early in this thing.
Watch Truex here. I'm sure he's not going to follow the 14 or call not the 14 any breaks.
Ah, there you go. Good call, Steve. I knew that was going to happen, too. When Truex was catching Boyer and Jimmy, I knew which car he was going to push. And, of course, he pushed Jimmy Johnson right by Boyer. Ooh, Boyer. They didn't even comment on the fact that Boyer looked like he was about to disappear and go straight to the wall.
Not sure if he got loose or tight, but lost a lot of ground right there.
Guys, I tell you, talk about the sticky stuff, talk about the cool. I talked about the jet dryers. Another thing the jet dryers did is wash every bit of rubber off the racetrack. So as we talk about track position, the challenge for the crew chief is it isn't just stay out, stay out, stay out. You have to manage your fuel. You also have to manage tire wear. We're seeing some pretty heavy left side tire wear on these set of tires that come off pit road, Marty.
And Steve, for an
Is that a
example
good thing?
of that, let me present to you the left front off of Clint Boyer's car from the last stop. And if you see a tire that comes off like this, Steve, I'm
Oh, my God. Tire wear at Texas.
that was probably a little bit longer than we want. Yeah, great point by you. It's
He was on that set of tires for a really long time. I mean, 3 fucking days. I mean, good grief. A lot of laps, though.
turns out, same issues could work. You see the outside that left front. Now for Joe Logano, he went the entirety 105 laps of that first stage on those left side tires. They only changed rights one time. But even his teammate Brad Keselowski, who took 4 tires in the competition caution on Sunday, had that same left front wear. So definitely concerning for a lot of these crew chiefs.
And Parker, we were listening in just a little while ago to Joey Logano on his radio. This is what they had to say.
Yeah, left front, corded, gone, nothing left there. That's all you got to say. Good stuff, thank you. Some other car up pit road, same way. I mean, obviously the lefts are Iowa area, green track, so.
Oh, it's hot in here. I gotta open my window, I think.
Great information from Paul Wolf. You know, his driver was concerned about the right front. Texas is a track we have seen right front issues over the decades we've raced here. Hey, facts. This is what happened. You wore the left front tire out, corded, didn't sugarcoat it. Gone, he said. You seem very calm, Joe. Oh, hey, good to know. Now I understand. They both agree it's going to get better as we run. Just a perfect example of
Well,
the driver crew chief.
I would rather blow a left side tire than a right side tire.
Their first year together, but it sounds like they're already dialed right.
Left front is better than the right front.
Well, guys, you look at Alex Bowman here at the front of the field, as you mentioned here. Very fast car when we first started this race on Sunday, leading laps by 20 Craig Eyes. And I said, as they went back to the pack, what do you feel like you'll have? He said, that's the key. When we were up front, we had the speed. We're not sure we'll have that speed when we get back to back. And sure enough, they didn't. They were mired.
Let me guess, your car gets tight in traffic. We know. So does everybody else.
Stage break, and that got them to the front, trying to get a bit of that track position, Marty. In second, Ryan Blaney, when I talked to his crew chief, Todd Gordon, he said, you know, yes, in July, we had the best car here, but we had the best car because we had the best handling car, and it was 95 degrees. Now it's 45 degrees, so I don't know how it's going to be. We're really set up to handle more than we are to be trimmed out and have all this speed in the cold weather. And Steve, you know that makes all the difference in the world in this 550 package. You come to mile-and-a-half racetracks, trimmed out versus handling. Todd Gordon wasn't sure what they would have today. Clearly, they still have pretty good speed.
Well, Blaney's catching Bowman for the lead. But I bet you he can't pass him. He's going to need a lot of lap traffic to get there. And Harvick looks fast. He's 8th right now. He's running with 4 wheels in the traction compound, Harvick is. I think he's just trying to get clean air, and it's working a little bit.
Much faster than these guys in 3 and 4. Look at the gain, the ground he makes up down the back straightaway and into and through 3 and 4. Watching this follow along as he goes into turn 1. He's not been able to keep pace in 1 and 2. He's been really fast in 3 and 4, but let's see if he does it again. That time, the 3 got messed up a little bit with the 9, but just not the speed of 1 and 2 that he has in 3 and 4 right now. And Jeff, a lot of the spotters further up front are talking about how Harvick is starting to straddle the sticky stuff on the racetrack, and maybe that other driver should consider moving up. Harvick clearly creating.
Well, it's not hurting Harvick any. He's about to make a couple of passes here. It's going to take forever, but he's clearly faster than Elliott and Austin Dillon. Don't pull Dale Jr. and dip into the grass on the front stretch and tear your shit up. I thought Harvick looked like he was about to do that when he was looking to make the pass on Dillon.
Had to wait for quite some time, but it's a beautiful Wednesday edition of Cup Series Racing here on NBC as we go NASCAR.
Hey, guess what, guys? We still have the length of an entire Xfinity race to go in this motherfucker. Over 200 laps. God, I'm sleepy. I'm going to sleep good tonight. I know that. I've been sleeping so good lately. Last night I had to get up and get on the phone for a little bit, but it's no big deal. I couldn't sleep. Well, I could sleep, but I wasn't going to be working anyway, so I got up and talked to a friend, and then went back to bed for a few hours, woke up with my usual alarm, and I've been up since. It's starting to catch up to me because I've just sat around bored most of the day. That makes you very sleepy. It's so exhausting being so bored. So I'd be willing to bet as soon as the race is over, I'm probably going to bed. Yeah, things don't look promising for Hamlin. Harvick, though, he's pretty damn fast. So if Michael was here, I would be like, hey, man, get my money ready. 'Cause I'm sure Harvick will still find a way to win this race. Yeah, I'm sleepy. Maybe it's just Texas. I don't know. Okay, so Friday night at 6, I've got to be on a Zoom call because Kiss is going to play a little something for the cruise people. Isn't that nice of them?
Moment out front here in Texas, but this weekend coming up, both races, Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, will be on NBC. Short track racing, and we have seen some crazy things happen at Martinsville.
I would expect more of that.
Kiss trivia, I think, on Saturday or Friday, I can't remember. Time to defend the crown from the comfort of my own home. Kiss Trivia World Champion right here, buddy.
Lead right now over Blaney. Steve, these guys, will they try to split it in half? Fuel-wise, they could go, what, 60 laps?
They can go about 60 laps, so you might be able to split it in half. I assume the 88 on no new tires will be on the front side.
NASCAR's like, look how close they are. Oh, yeah, caution is out. Gase goes around and can't keep it out of the fucking wall because he sucks. Boy, Denny Hamlin's championship hopes are in jeopardy if Hamlin continues to run like this. And the 88 and the 9 and Harvick and Keselowski. Well, Keselowski's in the same boat as Hamlin. He's running just as bad. God forbid Truex win this race. Or Bowman. That's really what you don't want.
So now you ask yourself, what's your goal? Are you looking ahead? Are you looking behind? You've run 23 laps. It's not like it was a short run, but getting ready to see really quickly what strategy and plan these guys have.
Cruz getting ready up on the wall.
I think you just have to come in. You see this guy right here with the torch heating up the tires? That's something we don't talk about as much. Cold
When is the truck
tires.
race
So
this
what
way? Okay.
happens is the lug nuts,
So I got to look at the
they get
schedule so
glued
I know
onto
what the
the
fuck I'm
silicone
doing.
glue. Well, it gets very, very brittle.
Because I may have
Great work, small details.
conflicts.
Heat it up a little bit with the torch. Make sure those don't pop off when you hang the tire on the pump.
Oh,
Take a look
motherfucker,
at it.
when's the truck
51
race?
Oh, it looks like he's really high. Maybe top of a 3 wide.
Yeah, top of 3 wide. Looked like some contact right there. I can't make out
William
that.
Byron got into Joey Gase.
Can't either. I don't know.
Gander Outdoor Trucks.
Oh, I can't hear. 24 William Byron. Crystal clear.
8 o'clock Friday night. I should be clear by then.
Yeah, Christopher Bell, did he get some of that? You damn it.
If I miss the start of the truck race Friday night, if I miss the start of the truck race Friday night, don't worry, I will be streaming the truck race. I might have to miss the start, but I don't know. 4 days of stream, and who knows what the work situation is. No, I'm working tomorrow, unfortunately. Blaney, new leader, gas only. Martin Truex, 2 tires. Austin Dillon, no tires. Elliott, Boyer, Kyle Busch, Jones, Harvick, 2 tires. Bowman, no tires. Johnson, 2. How did Bowman take no tires and drop all the way to 9th? Anyway, Ron Blaney's leader now. Basically, you steal the lead on pit road, you're going to win the race. It's as simple as that. Doesn't matter how fast you are. Just, you've got to be on the right end of the strategy deal and get in front of everybody that way. Because you're not going to be able to pass for the lead otherwise. Dude, if this race was done, I'd go to bed right now. I watched most of that shitty Rams-Bears game Monday night. I'm like, wow, I actually fucking watched this. It was so bad. Told you the Bears suck. I don't care that they're 5-2. They're not good. I'm really excited for the Cowboys to play Philadelphia. Because, Philly's D-line is going to get up in that ass and make America laugh. And then I think 2 weeks after that, the Cowboys have to play Pittsburgh. That'll be a good time. Might stream that. Because by then I'll be able to stream. By the time the Cowboys play the Steelers, I'll be able to stream some football on Sunday. So I'm going to try to pick some games to stream for you guys, because pretty much for the rest of the year I can watch whatever I want. So yeah, we'll see. Not going to stream every Sunday or anything like that. Like I said, I'm just going to do the playoffs for sure. But, I mean, come on, Cowboys, Steelers. Who wouldn't want to stream that game and just laugh for 3.5 hours? Because they're going to get fucking annihilated. It's been a caution-filled race, and we're not even halfway. Excuse me. Had Wendy's for dinner. It hit hard. Baconator, dude.
Exhilarating races at the Breeders' Cup World Championship. You can learn more at breederscup.com/2020 and catch all the action live on NBC Sports. Unfortunate for the 88.
Oh, you're trying to make... Oh, well, I don't know about that, Jeff. Okay, what happened to Bowman here on pit road? Did he get stuck behind somebody?
Yeah, so this is one of the problems with so many cars on the lead lap and doing 2 tires. As she goes to lead...
Oh, look at Stenhouse ruining everything.
Stop. Had to tell him to stop. Wasn't sure what the 47 was going to do. Cost him 3 seconds. And that was multiple spots.
Yeah, great heads-up move by Ricky Stenhouse to lock the tires down.
Pit road's a busy place.
You know, that's just, those happen. Right?
I don't even know if I'm going to watch tomorrow's game. You know what I might do? I might stream a video game and keep an eye on the Falcons game and just bitch about it the whole time I'm playing the game to keep me calm. How about that? We might compromise tomorrow night, Jeff, if you're interested. I'll play fucking Star Wars Battlefront or something and just keep an eye on the game. I don't know.
Unfortunately, Alex Bowman didn't know. So Alex, he is
Could play Friday the 13th, but I do that on Friday nights. Don't want to burn myself out. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll do something tomorrow. I'm not making any promises because, like I said, I might just be too fucking tired after work or something. I don't know. And not mentally prepared to watch that fucking team play. So in the meantime, Blaney's the leader. Probably can't make it to the end of the stage from here. Matter of fact, I know you can't. And why would you try? Especially if you're Blaney. You don't care about stage points. Look at Austin Dillon in the top 5 here to defend his Texas crown.
Jeff Gordon said, you know, whoa sounds like go. And we were all wrecked in the second lane.
Oh, I wish Blaney would have snapped loose. I'm fantasizing about playoff guys getting wrecked. Everybody but Chase and Bowman, pretty much. So I was like, man, I wish Blaney would have got loose and wiped Truex out there. That would have been great. Side by side for the lead, as they are for the first couple laps. It just depends on who's going to get a better push. Blaney held the bottom really strong there and cleared Truex. So Blaney's out front. He's going to lead till the next time I have to pit or a caution comes out. You know how this works. Austin Dillon. Shout out to the command center for winning him that race. They've had a very solid year, RCR, I think. And Jeff Burton once again steals the words right out of my mouth. Somebody's listening to me, I'm telling you.
Lately hasn't had the speed, but this 3-car brought a lot of speed to the playoffs, much more than we saw during the regular season. See Austin Dillon
You know, Jeff Burton, I have the power of observation, and apparently I'm better at it than you.
Changing what that aqueduct does between turns 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, because 1 and 2 drive so different from 3 and 4. This time both hands are with. There he goes.
No, he's got to adjust it. So I think what he's going to do is open the aqueduct, add some downforce to the race car right here, some side force for the handling end. You told me that turn 1 and 2 is the most important end. That aqueduct is just an opening in the right side window where the air comes in. You're allowed to run a valve that opens and closes it, but it has to be manual. It can't be electronic. So you want to talk about old school adjustments? Here you go.
Well, that's kind of neat. Austin Dillon is opening and shutting the valve in the passenger side window to create more downforce at the spot of the track where he feels like he needs more downforce. And then when he gets out of that, he opens it back up again to let air flow in. Look how tight he got in Boyer's dirty air, though. Look at that. That's actually kind of cool. That's about as much effort as you'll ever see being put into driving these piles of shit. Although he got really tight behind Boyer there. Now Kyle Busch is underneath him. Hello, Kyle Busch. Forgot you existed. Hey, look, there's Kevin Harvick about to break into the top 5. Cue the Jaws music. I made a great pick, though. He's still alive. And he's running higher on the racetrack than anyone. Anywhere there's clean air, Kevin Harvick's running.
Kyle Busch giving him a lot of room right there. A lot of respect they given by Kyle Busch to Kevin Harvick in that situation.
You have to ask yourself, maybe it's disappointing as Kyle Busch has been the championship for so many times. He knows what's on the line. It's just his opportunity to kind of give that respect back, right, Marty? I'm going to give space because I've been given space.
Look at little Kyle Busch not racing for a championship. Oh.
Yes, he's going to give respect to everyone in the field, even though he certainly wants to win. You know what's funny as you guys were watching the onboard.
I'm starting to come around to the idea of a stream tomorrow, but like I said, it'll probably be me playing a video game or something. Got to decide what I want to play.
With his guys on top of the pit box. Sometimes, Steve, you don't want all the secrets given away inside the car, do you? And Justin was watching all that go down on national TV as driver adjusting the car every corner, every lap.
Excuse me. Working man is tired. Shout out to Rush. Kevin Harvick in the top 5. Well, now he's 6th again because Kyle Busch got to his outside going to 3.
Wins races with Austin Dillon. I think that's a group that they believe in one another, they trust in one another, and if you just continue to give them time, I think they continue to improve.
We saw Kyle Busch make the pass on Kevin Harvick, so he was able to get back by Harvick, and now Kyle Busch running in that 5th position behind Austin Dillon.
When you talk about that issue with the 88, you know, he's making no ground because those spots he lost on pit road. Another driver that seems to be losing a spot here to the 95 is the one of Kurt Busch. Let's listen in.
Monkey fucking football, Kurt Busch. Oh, wow. Kurt Busch just said clean air versus dirty air is horrible. What have I been saying all goddamn season? And if I had been streaming last season, you would have heard me. And I would have said, hey, what have I been saying the last 2 years?
Sometimes, you know, there's 2 sets of adjustments. There's physical adjustments to literally add downforce, add grip, make the car go faster.
Dirty air.
You have to do it in a way in which the driver has confidence to turn the wheel.
You know, Dale Jr.'s got Dirty Mo Media. I'm going to start Dirty Air Media. Of course, we go out of business after they change these shitty cars after next year. Dirty Air. Look, you fuckers got to win or nothing, because Kurt Busch is 92 points out right now. He has to win. And from the looks of it, he's not going to do that today. So, see you at Martinsville. Sam Bass, rest in peace. Truex on Blaney's bumper. But there's that bubble of air. He ain't going to make this pass. Not until Blaney gets into some lap traffic and gets tight. As long as they're on clean racetrack or Blaney has a clean line in front of him, Truex is not going to make that pass. He's going to have to run high somehow. There's some heat in that second lane now. Hell, Kevin Harvick's been single-handedly heating up that second lane. Look at Blaney's moved up off the bottom a little bit. He's not on the white line like he was. That hurt him off of 4. Truex got a great run. But I bet he doesn't go anywhere with it because you literally can't. It's like watching the end of Kansas all over again. I have no more patience for this.
He's trying to get this second lane to fire. Every lap it seems like it gets a little bit better, starting to make that work. Blaney's going to have to answer it. Go to that second
Blaney, little bobble there in 3. But Truex is tight as well running behind him. So right there, Truex should have been able to pull down and make the pass because Blaney's car looked really unstable. But you can't. Here we go. They're talking about the aero bubble. Here's a nice run off of 2 for Truex. How hard is Blaney going to defend? Nice run, but he didn't try to go anywhere with it.
When you get close enough, you start to gain draft, and you start gaining on that car in front of you. But you actually then push that car in front of you like there's a beach.
Look how much he had to lift. He got right to Blaney's left rear, but not close enough to get to him and side draft him down the straightaway. So Blaney's driving off again. Don't you hate these cars? Don't you just hate that shit? Can we try, if they want to do 550, can we try 550 with the tiny spoiler and just see what happens? Here he comes. He's got him now. Blaney's car was really tight in 2. Truex held the bottom well. He should take the lead here. He's fast. Wow, we saw a pass for the lead. A pass for the lead, unaided by lap traffic. Fucking write it down, take a picture, remember this moment. Where were you when we saw a green flag pass without the aid of traffic on a 1.5-mile racetrack in the year 2020? Where were you when the world stopped turning on that October Wednesday? Hey, there's Kyle Busch in 3rd. Where the fuck did he come from? Chase Elliott passed Kevin Harvick for 6th. I just noticed. I told you if Truex got out front, I felt really good about him. So if Kyle Busch wins, he's 3rd right now, and he looks pretty fast. If he was able to win, would it be the most subdued celebration ever? I'd be like, Kyle, act like you just won an Xfinity race. Be really excited.
Kyle Busch is flying, but Jeff, I'm going to tell you what I just noticed right there, though, with that pass that happened, just give me more appreciation for what Logano was able to pull off a week ago.
Oh, fuck off, Letarte. Truex just got lucky that Blaney's car's really tight.
The other thing is look at the left side of the points. With the 19 being the leader, that puts pressure on Hamlin, the 9, the 2. Everything gets jumbled up with a new leader. It's just, you know, the style of racing has changed, but it's still racing.
We are approaching halfway, if you can believe it. No, it's not. Okay, it is, but not as much as it should. All right. Fucking NBC Sports with the damage control police up in the booth because everybody knows that last week's race was miserable to watch, and now they're doing damage control. All right, look at that. Martin Truex passed Ryan Blaney. That just goes to show you how good Joe Logano was last week. Fuck off. Who are you bullshitting? A bullshitter. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. Now I'm kind of annoyed at that. They were literally insulting my intelligence there. Boy, I'm way more alive during this race than I would have been Sunday. Holy crap. It's nice to just be able to focus on one thing. Like I said, this time of year doing the football racing thing at the same time, I can get a little distracted and overwhelmed. Because I have ADD and OCD. So I get annoyed when I can't focus on one. I was really banking on watching a lot of football during that race Sunday. But this race is actually halfway watchable. The strategies are interesting enough, even though I know the game here. You cannot pass, except if the guy in front of you, his handling just completely goes away like Blaney's did. If you could just watch these races from 3rd on back, every race with this package might seem okay. Ish. Harvick's passing Elliott on the outside of 4. That was nice. Good move. More power to him. See, that's why I still think Harvick's going to win this race. He's making passes on the outside. I don't see anybody else really passing on the outside. Or being as brave enough to run up there as often as he is. He's inching up higher and higher. Now he's got all 4 tires in the traction shit in 3 and 4. Trying to run down Austin Dillon. Y'all are talking too much. Hey, they just showed a replay of Denny Hamlin being a jackass at Martinsville a couple years ago. I don't forget. I'm like Jimmy Spencer. I never forget.
Echo Park Automotive 500, Texas Motor Speedway. Out front, Martin Truex Jr.
Martin Truex Jr. 3-car breakaway up front.
Spot, closing the gap is the 18 of Kyle Busch. Lap traffic really coming into play, though.
Lap traffic is keeping Blaney in the game, but Truex is just so much faster. So much better handling, too. You can really see it right there. Look how top Blaney gets before they ever get to the exit of 2. Just run wherever he's running is what I'd tell him. If you're trying to really protect that lead, just run where the car behind you is running. We are past halfway. Oh my God.
One advantage right now Martin Truex Jr. has is he has a big enough gap for Blaney. If he wanted to experiment a little bit and move around and try to find something that's better, he can do that right now. Because if it doesn't work...
How much do you think it cost to spend 3 days running Air Titans and jet dryers around that damn racetrack? How many laps did they turn? And how much money in gasoline and just jet fuel did that cost? Somebody get back to me. Do some research on that. Because I bet it wasn't cheap for all the running around they had to do. Hey, look, Denny Hamlin's 12th. He's getting a little better. Lap 169. Nice.
On the left, Blake Harris, the man who's filling in for James Small, crew chiefing this weekend. Now, I'm going to make you guys a little jealous, if that's okay. See, Blake is from Texas. His parents live an hour south of the racetrack. So then Monday, when there was no racing that was going to happen, Blake drove home to his home and got a home-cooked meal from Mom, got his clothes washed by Mom. He spent 2 days at home actually hanging out with his parents. He said it was wonderful. I know you guys hit all the outlet malls trying to get all the clothes you could get to make this extended stay in Texas work. Blake Harris went home. So probably makes you guys a little jealous that he was able to drive home, get a home-cooked meal, and get his clothes laundered as well.
Well, Blake should be thankful I didn't know that, or I would have drove to his parents' house and done some laundry myself.
I thought this was my new home.
Keeping an eye on Denny Hamlin right now. Like I said, he's 12th.
Denny Hamlin's struggling just a little bit.
Still not in the top 10, but a little better than he was.
The field like Kevin
He was
Harvick
stuck in mid-pack purgatory for a long run here.
Look at all the racing around. This crazy racing going all around Denny Hamlin, in front of him and behind him.
Look at that pile of cars behind him.
Denny Hamlin in Martinsville, in your mind, you want to go to just an automatic win or an automatic great run. He ran 24th there in the spring and ran just plainly bad. Just wasn't fast. I mean, you can make up all the excuses you want, but it wasn't a wreck, wasn't a mechanical issue. They were just bad. This is a track he averages inside a top 10. You know, when I talk to the team, I think they have a feeling on what the issue was, and they feel like they can correct it.
Keselowski's going to make a move on Denny here.
Close to the ball heading into that short track.
Denny's been complaining about
Jimmy Spencer's real motto: never saw a buffet, didn't stop at. I can definitely believe that. Jimmy Spencer looks like a couple of the jack-offs I have to work with occasionally. And they'll never see this, so I can say it. But even if they did see it anyway, I wouldn't give a shit. You guys are annoying. Fat, middle-aged rednecks. But Jimmy Spencer kind of looks like him. Oh, my God, the sun is out. Look at that. Texas Motor Speedway, and the sun is out. That's like the brightest it's been there in days. We're not going to see the sun around here for another couple of days.
There's something a little different. The sun.
Look how observant Rick Allen is.
That's only going to make 1 and 2 worse, right? The warmer turns 1 and 2 get, the worse it's going to be on grip.
Right now it's 5:34 in Fort Worth, Texas. Sun ain't going away for a little while.
Counter-steering there by Denny Hamlin. He gets past by Christopher Bell there to 95. That has been his issue in that 11 car. Has been the entry of the corners being described as edgy or lacking security, which, as we all know as drivers, that is...
Yeah, I was never a Jimmy Spencer fan. I hated that fat fuck when I was a kid. I felt like I was the only kid in the world that was on Kurt Busch's side. Kevin Harvick on pit road. Yeah, Jimmy Spencer's a prick. I hated to say it, but when he started doing the Race Hub show, I actually started to like Jimmy Spencer. When he was on like Race Day, Race Hub, and all that shit, I was like, yeah, Jimmy's kind of cool. But as a driver, I always fucking hated him. Never liked Jimmy Spencer. I remember watching him ass ram Dale Earnhardt at Bristol after Earnhardt won. I was 5 years old, and that pissed me off. Then he said the 2001 Pepsi 400 was rigged for Dale Jr., and I'm like, you're just a fucking Earnhardt hater, dude. Like, Spencer always had a problem with the Earnhardts. Maybe it's because, unlike him, they were capable of winning more than like 1 or 2 races every 20 years. Mr. Excitement, my ass. Yeah, how exciting is it running in 25th? I was totally on Kurt Busch's side with the Jimmy Spencer bullshit. Here's the deal. Harvick pitted. We've been green. If they run to the end of the stage, they would have had to have run about 72 laps. That's not going to cut it, so I would expect more guys to pit here. Pretty much everybody. Somebody will probably stretch it and try to catch a caution. Bryce Keselowski, Denny Hamlin. I mean, why not, right?
Watch the scorecard. See what kind of pace they've got with these tires. The 4 cars fast right here. That'll tell the entire field what tires are worth.
You know, the top 10, you know, the best cars are running 29 4s, 5s, maybe a few 7s.
Somebody stop me. I'm enjoying myself today. I've had a nice, peaceful day. Had a good few peaceful days at work, but that's coming to an end tomorrow because my dad's like, everybody's going to this house at Lake Lure. And I'm like, oh, boy. The last 3 or 4 work days just been me and my dad and Cole. There's another guy I work with. He's a nice dude. He's about my age. But the mother jack-offs, I'm going to have to turn my headphones up extra loud tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get cell signal. I got my iPod, but it'd be nice to have some cell signal for once.
There's no reason to pit early. You pit early at tracks where those fresh Goodyear tires pick you up a second and a half. You're gaining time.
30 to go in stage 2.
At this point, he's just riding around a lap down. So the big hope for Kevin Harvick and Rodney Childers, just make this thing go green until everybody has to pit. We see a yellow, that would definitely hurt Kevin Harvick.
I wasn't able to pull the rest of the field to come on the pit road with him. We invite you now to the fast lane, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Denny Hamlin on the left side of the screen. We talked about struggling, maybe even a vibration possibility for the 39-year-old from Chesterfield, Virginia. Denny Hamlin right now 6 points above the cut line for that championship 4 spot. Let's hear from celebrity chef Robert Irvine with a special message.
Who? Hey, you guys want to hear from celebrity chef Robert Irvine on behalf of Coca-Cola? Here you go.
There's such a great sense of joy and fulfillment that comes from sitting around a table with friends, family, and our racing family.
Ah, I drink this nice bottle of tooth decay and sugar.
Guys of Coca-Cola racing team. And I gotta tell
Fucking
you,
sodas disgust me, dude.
huge stakes, sweet potato
The idea of what's in them just disgusts me.
lots of ice-cold Coca-Cola. We talked
You should have seen me and my friend Ben. You know, we're like health nuts now, working out and everything, getting in shape. We watched the Angry Video Game Nerd review the Pepsi Man game, and there's like little scenes in the game where there's this fat dude on a couch with like 25 cans of Pepsi laying around and like 2 bags of Lay's potato chips, and we were just like, oh God, like we were disgusted. We couldn't imagine that. And I'm like, dude, that used to be me. I used to eat that shit and I used to drink those Pepsis. I never want to do that again. I don't want to be like the guy in the pit. Oh my God, we got to pass for second. Kyle Busch is second. Maybe he can race his way to Phoenix and run for. Oh wait, never mind. He's eliminated. Well, I tell you what, Denny Hamlin didn't need a long green flag run, but he's looking a little better than he was.
And this is just fascinating to me, just the amount of focus that Denny Hamlin has.
They should have focused, Steve, but also I think concern.
I'm trying to put a positive spin on not being in Miami right now. Maybe because I'm on my health kick, I wouldn't have been tempted by all that free ice cream on the cruise this week, right?
Best two teams.
We'll go with that.
What you expect to see from Denny Hamlin in the playoffs. And still,
At least I get to see Kiss Friday night on my computer on that live stream thing they're doing for us.
there's some serious concern right now with this car.
I'm going to put my Kiss Crew stuff on. I'll put my shorts on, a Kiss shirt. I'm going to wear my fucking lanyard and walk around the house depressed. Like, look, I'm in cruise mode. I kept all my lanyards from the previous years.
48 laps to go in the race. I couldn't list all their accomplishments. It's so impressive. So these are the races, though. It's perhaps
Yeah, Hamlin's car's a little better in the long run.
see if you can get there. Remember the win at Phoenix a year ago to make it to Miami to race for a championship. So they have been tested.
I would have liked more cautions to try to figure something out. Maybe they've done all they can do. I don't know.
Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick is so scary to get into that championship court because they've been so good.
It's amazing how tight this points battle is with the problems that Harvick and Hamlin had, with Truex and Bowman being probably the 2 best playoff cars in the race. Elliott's running better than Keselowski and Hamlin.
There's a replica right there. Daniel's signing those replicas.
That's really tightened up the points going to Martinsville. I hope it ends up really tight going to Martinsville.
One of those. I tell you what, that's a pretty cool. It's a day in the Dan helmet, obviously, and Daniel's signing them. I might be in for getting one. That's pretty cool, isn't it, guys?
Don't talk about Suarez too much. The boomers will freak out because he's from Mexico.
I'm in. If you want one, you go.
I know how those conservative boomer Christian cocksuckers are. They don't like their Mexicans and they don't like black people. So whatever you do, don't talk about Suarez too much because the boomers and the rednecks will freak out.
20, you see falling back to 41 to the inside. We're getting a report of a really bad vibration on the 20 of Eric Jones. We'll see if that forces him to pit road. As the
Well, if you got a bad vibration, why don't you pit? You're not going to make it to the end of the stage anyway.
Jones, that white and red, almost a little smoke or did I dream it?
No, I think I saw the smoke as well.
Smoke out of what?
When he hit a little bit of a bump there through the turn.
Oh,
Look at this.
Eric Jones.
It's nerve-wracking. 49 will take the bottom, force the 20 up.
It looks like a normal race now that the sun is out.
A lot of different options.
Is it Sunday evening?
Not coming to pit road. How many tires? Let's listen in to Brad Keselowski's strategy.
Couple options. We could do left just to get to the end of the stage. If we go long enough, we could do forward and then stay out or do 2 at the end of the stage. I'm going last, but try to get to stage 1 here.
Keselowski's going to play for the points.
Right, so there you go. A couple options.
He needs to. That would have been running that well.
The battle continues with Denny Hamlin and the 21 of Matt Benedetto. Or we could take
Matt Benedetto.
The driver says, I'm good with lefts. I feel good about what we have. But now shorten our time on pit road. Try to stay inside the top 10. Score some points.
Truex, Kyle Busch, Blaney, Boyer, Bowman. Boy, Truex and Bowman are trying to ruin this whole thing. Honestly, I'm all for it because I love it. If we're going to have a retarded point system, we might as well make it really stupid and get the most ridiculous result possible. See, I got some really outside the box thinking. I think the guy with the most points at the end of the year should win the championship. I know that's just a crazy idea, but I'm just a girl with a dream, you know. Oh boy. Gotta sit in that fucking van tomorrow. Ugh. Maybe I'll get lucky and they'll just say, it's too scary outside. Now that one fat prick will just make an excuse to run off and do something else anyway, so. Like it matters to him if we get stuck somewhere. Boy, it's been nice having a break from that shit for a few days. Being able to work in peace. Not having to dread getting in the car to go home because you're not riding with idiots. But the biggest positive about tomorrow is that I'm only going about 20 minutes away from my house instead of about an hour. Like there's like 20, 25 minutes somewhere up in there, so it'll be half or a little less than half of the commute to fucking Lake James. Ryan Blaney's on pit road. 15 to go in the stage. Couldn't even begin to tell you who's going to be on the right strategy here. There's so many laps left, and who knows how the cautions will fall later on. Ooh, Dallas and Philly on Sunday night. I'm going to laugh so hard. Look, the Eagles ain't great, but their defensive line, Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox and those dudes, I wouldn't want to fuck with them, especially if I had an O-line as bad as Dallas has right now. That'll be fun. Austin Dillon on pit road. It's good to see that sun shining.
Getting tighter. A lot of people talking about how the car is down on the racetrack again. Fuel only for the 3 car, so no tires for Austin Dillon once again.
Let's look that up right now, actually. Doesn't Jayski keep track of that shit? Of like Winston Cup style points or whatever. Cup Series.
So they would not have to stop or take a minimum amount of time at the stage break. We'll have to see as the pit stop cycle is going to continue. And as we saw that pit stop, the 18 of Kyle Busch has taken the lead from the 19 of Mark Truex Jr.
I love they used to keep track of like what the points would be like under the old formats. Harvick would have a massive points lead right now. Harvick would pretty much have the championship sewn up. I do know that much. Hey guys, notable birthdays this week. Tomorrow is Teresa Earnhardt's birthday. Look at that. Happy birthday, Teresa Earnhardt, you stupid cunt. How about that? It's Teresa's birthday tomorrow. Fuck her. Truex, Boyer on pit road. Jimmy Johnson on pit road. Kyle Busch takes the lead.
car.
10 to go in the stage. We are on lap 201. They're clicking off.
See 4 tires going on Kurt Busch as well. I like 4 tires from Mark Truex Jr. I don't think he's worried about the stage. He's worried about the
Maybe it was Slap Shoes or somebody that posted the standings. They do it like every week on their YouTube channel. I gotta see. Shout out to Slap Shoes. We're getting free publicity from all 4 of the people that watch me every week.
Once again, they went 4 tires basically. Hey guys, a big development. Chase Elliott coming back down pit road. You see him leaving.
Oh my
his pit
God.
stall. He took right side tires only. Chase saying he had a vibration. So 2 pit stops for Chase.
2 pit stops for Chase. Well, that's fucking great.
As we approach the end of stage 2.
How do I see what a guy posted on his channel? Not videos, but like, you know what I mean. Oh, I guess I can't fucking find it now. Well, I'm glad Chase Elliott's fucked for this stage. He's not going to get any points here. Wonderful. We need something bad to happen to Truex and Hamlin and Keselowski. If all three of them can just blow up or something, I'd be feeling a lot better about my chances.
Past the 19, all of a sudden, didn't know why. We went back a few laps before that and went and watched.
So there was a pass for the lead that we missed because they didn't show it. Yeah, there sure was. Look at this. I was watching pit stops and looking on my computer, and Kyle Busch passed Truex off camera because they didn't even show it.
Watch on the front straightaway. I don't know if Martin runs out of fuel or what happens right here, but it's really slow.
Look at that, another pass for the lead. He must have like sputtered or something going down the front. To be that slow.
Yeah, we heard the report that Chase Elliott had to flip the switch, means he went to the reserve.
Denny Hamlin on pit road.
Tire call here. I know it seems like you're giving up a lot of time, but I think it's going to help them in the future.
You had mentioned that with Martin Truex Jr. He's looking for a win. Coming in here after the penalty, was starting out 51 points behind that cut line, looking for a win. And look at those.
There's the tires off of Elliott's car.
From Chase Elliott. So on the first stop, it was fuel only, and there you see why they had to come back in.
Why would you only do fuel only? Way to go. Fuck. Why would you do gas only under green when a stage break is coming? Wouldn't you want to get your tires now and then do gas only at the break? Fucking Alan Gustafson. What the fuck? I don't understand.
And as a driver, there's nothing you can do.
5 to go in the stage.
Feel anything? Everything was fine, right? And as soon as he pulls on the racetrack, all of a sudden there it is. I know he feels bad about it. I don't know what he could have done differently.
No, I mean, he has no idea.
What they could have done differently was put goddamn tires on when they came down pit road.
So they're just going to have to find a way to try to recover.
Eric Jones just went across the start.
That's what they could have done.
And 4 laps remaining in stage 2.
It's going to be a big stretch for the fuel tank of Eric Jones. Last time
So it's 4 to go in the stage, and Eric Jones ain't pitted yet. And he's leading. I think he's pitting now. Here he comes.
And he's coming to pit road now.
And that will hand the lead
Okay,
to
so Kyle Busch take the lead. Truex moved to second. Chase Elliott is in. Just he's fucked.
Busch now out front with Martin Truex Jr. running second. Alex Bowman is third.
This is good for Bowman and Truex there, and Keselowski, and Harvick. He's going to be in the top 10. Look, they took tires.
Left side tires only and fuel to make sure they get to the end of the stage.
So Jeff, that pass on the front stretch that you mentioned when Truex slowed dramatically.
There you go.
Fuel or something else, we aren't completely sure. Well, actually,
2 to go on the stage now.
that is what happened to the 19, just like you said, Jeff.
Kyle Busch going to win a stage. Good for him.
Gas, he flipped the switch, the 18 drove by him. Listen.
So that's going to cost Truex a stage win. He's going to lose a point off that. Remember that.
Final lap. Kyle Busch out front by 1.2 seconds over Martin Truex Jr. Then it's Bowman, Keselowski, Blaney, Bell, Austin Dillon.
Oh, it's the end of stage 2.
Kevin Harvick running in the 10th position. Remember, getting into the wall on Sunday.
Wasted stage win, Kyle Busch.
Right side.
Wasted season, Kyle Busch.
And now running in the top 10. Only a third stage win of 2020. It's been a disappointing season for Kyle.
Still winless. Still can't win a race.
For him, as he is the reigning champion, defending champion, is getting back to victory lane.
But I thought he was the second coming of Christ.
That he has invested in that win streak.
Well, he better figure something out in the next 2 weeks. Or today. Wants to keep his little win streak alive. God damn. I found the most relatable meme ever. It says, me spending $300 in the mall, and it's a guy in like a fur coat and fancy clothes. And it says, me paying $32 to renew my license, and the guy's got a look on his face like, what the fuck? It's another reason why I've been putting off getting my new ID. I don't want to spend $32. I mean, I could make that in like less than half a day of work, but you know, it's the principle. I don't like to buy food or anything that's not going to make me immediately happy. I live for pleasure. Kevin Harvick says his vibration's so bad he can't see and that it's not the tires. Because Rodney Childers says they look fine. That was just 30 seconds ago, guys. So Harvick already has a vibration again, and he says he can't see. Shaking his head so bad. Can we make Texas Motor Speedway a 400-mile race next year? We'd be almost at the end of this motherfucker. We'd have like 55 laps to go now. Instead, we've got 122. Harvick said his car is not good. Be right back.
An incredible job done by everyone with NASCAR. The schedule is unchanged for this upcoming weekend, which is only a couple days away. Saturday, it's Xfinity Series. Sunday, Cup Series. Both of those races will be on NBC. The Truck Series race actually will still run on Friday night on FS1. So an amazing job even after this race has been delayed to midweek.
Rick, I know it's been a long week, but you know what you just told me? I only got one day off this week. I get racing again on Friday night. Just tomorrow, the only day without racing. I can't wait.
We'll call it a travel day. But yeah, looking forward to short track racing from Martinsville coming up this weekend.
And I don't think that Saturday race is going to be fascinating. Yeah. Jeff mentioned earlier, so long since we've seen the Xfinity Series cars at Martinsville. All right, a little bit of decision. Kyle Busch stays out. He's going to try to stretch his fuel. The 19 of Truex is going to lead a long line of cars onto pit road. Soon we're going to see a variety here. Parker.
And Alex Bowman's going to do left side tires. Greg Eyes, motion to the 4017. We're doing left side so they don't run into us. Clear out there for ED. Also, Brad Keselowski on pit road there, doing 4 tires after doing fuel only on the 340.
Fuel only for Martin Truex Jr. They took 4 in that last pit stop in stage 2. He will win this race off of pit road, so some staying out, some fuel only, some 2 tires, with a little bit of everything on this set of stops, Rick.
You better keep your notebook out, Rick, on the test when we come back where everybody stands on pit strategy.
We've got a lot to talk about.
No tires, 2 tires, no tires. Yeah. Told you, that's the way to win the race. I'll be right back. I'm still not done. Back. God, I need a drink. I'm losing my voice. I don't know why I'm losing. I don't lose my voice every stream, but every now and then we just have a stream where I'm like, ugh, at the end of it. I sound like John Laurinaitis. That's right, John Laurinaitis.
A little bit of strategy and some good running.
Strategery.
So Kyle Busch has him up front. Now, when we take a look at the 9 here of Chase Elliott, Steve.
Yeah, unfortunately, the hits kind of keep on hitting Marty. He did a nice job of reporting that under the green flag cycle, he had to pit twice. He came once for fuel as he left. A tire came apart, forced him to pit road a second time. That put him a lap down. I think their theory here was, all right, everybody's going to pit. We can stay out and take the wave around. Unfortunately, Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer stayed on the racetrack.
Fucking nice.
So he since has gone to pit road.
Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer stayed out. Now Elliott's trapped a lap down.
119 laps ago, that was a great opportunity to kind of get a lap back that didn't present itself because of what other people did. The other big conversation is on the left side. Jeff, let's talk about the last pit lap. We said they could go about 60 laps. The guys that pitted at this stage end, I assume, can make it on one more stop. The question is, Kyle Busch, Boyer, Logano, Matt DiBenedetto, Denny Hamlin, those drivers all were on pit road.
They're banking on cautions.
Earlier, so they're going to have to go basically 65 on each tank. That's the farthest we have seen anybody go. So we're going to have to see. Those 4 can stretch it, or excuse me, 5 can stretch it, only 1 can stretch it.
Remember, we saw Jokic Racing driver Martin Truex Jr.
So the top 5, Busch, Boyer, Logano, DiBenedetto, and Hamlin, are going to struggle to make this race on just one more stop. Everybody else can split this in half and get on one more stop. Busch, Boyer, Logano, DiBenedetto, and Hamlin are just banking on cautions to fall the right way and keep this track position. So that's the top 5. They stayed out. Truex, everybody else pitted. Hey, stage 3, we made it.
Big push from Matt DiBenedetto on the 21 on that 14. Is it enough as Kyle Busch on the inside still holding on to the lead?
Second lane has started to become the preferred lane in 3 and 4. Let's see if Clint can make it work.
What a weird year 2020's been. Not our first race on a Wednesday. Look at Clint Boyer. He's a legend. He led a race for 73 hours. Boyer and Kyle Busch side by side. Big side draft from Kyle Busch here going to 3. Pack it down in there, Kyle. Kyle Busch slides up in front of Boyer. Here comes DiBenedetto. That opened the door for Matt DiBenedetto. He ain't going to get the lead. He couldn't clear Boyer. Now they're side drafting each other, and Kyle Busch going to drive away. Well, all right then. Matt DiBenedetto. He didn't even bother to say all of his name. He just gave up halfway through. Matt DiBenedetto.
Sitting there racing Joey Logano. He was struggling big time. Now sitting there racing for 4th.
Alex Bowman, who's led laps in this race, 43 of them. Right there in the picture as well. Martin Truex Jr.
Well, we're going to need a lot of cautions to get back in this deal.
Situation for the 19 up here.
Driving to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to make ground in 1 and 2. Nice move.
I'd say Hamlin looks pretty solid now.
Cleared him, got back into that line. Now let's see. He's looking right now to see if there's a gap between that 11.
Although Truex has got under him now. Truex is going to take this spot.
When he gets to turn 3 and turn 1, is there a gap? Is there somewhere to fill? Looks like there will be. Trying it deep in the corner. That's underneath Joey Logano. That's incredible speed for Martin.
That's incredible. Man, this race really misses Dale Jr. in the booth. Why couldn't Jr. like phone in or something if he had to go back to North Carolina?
Yeah, he's got to put a big side draft on Logano right here because Hamlin's going to push him in front of Truex. And Truex can clear the 22 through here. Oh, is he there?
Can't do it.
Clear. Truex to fourth ahead of Logano.
He had to clear Joey Logano. They were all stacked up behind him.
Well, the 19 cleared the 22. The 11 lost the nose, got up the racetrack. Now he's under attack from the 88. So Denny Hamlin had the track position, but doesn't have the car to keep it. Oh, now he gets back in front of the 88. Good move by the 11.
Kyle Busch, Boyer, and DiBenedetto, the second-hand citizens, are up front. Why did Harvick pit so early? He just said he had a bad vibration. He said it was shaking so bad he couldn't see. And he said after they pitted, it didn't get any better. And Childers told him it's not the tires because he said the tires were clean when they come off the car. So Harvick's just got a bad car. Probably something rattled around in there for when he hit the wall Sunday.
Wood Brothers for the 2021 season. Still looking for that 100th win for Wood Brothers.
And you know, Rick, I have no information. I spoke to nobody at the Wood Brothers to say this is the case, but in my mind, his performance both at Talladega and at Las Vegas in the closing laps, having a chance to win, that had to do something. If there wasn't this decision to be swayed.
Remember how strong Matt DiBenedetto was at Texas earlier this year before he got wrecked by Quinn Houff? Good for him, though. I'm glad he's running well.
Again, Matt DiBenedetto will be back next year. As you mentioned, looking for his first win in the Cup Series. Brad Keselowski making
Kyle Keselowski.
closing in on that 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
It's been fun watching Brad Keselowski the last couple laps in 1 and 2. He has been making some ground. See if he can do it again. Not close enough to Jimmy Johnson right here, I don't think, to take advantage of it, but he's been driving to the bottom of the racetrack, making a lot of passes.
And, you know, as we talk about all these guys, Jeff, we have to point out, you know, the championship is going to be won at Phoenix this year.
Look at that.
That's impressive, isn't it? I want to talk about that guy. That's why I bring that up, Jeff. Let's talk about Brad Keselowski. Let's talk about the Penske.
Right now, Brad's in the Final Four as they run.
Sweet spot all year has been the high horsepower short track package. We are not going to award a champion at Miami. It will be at Phoenix. Logano's already in. Look at the points. Keselowski plus 24. Even as great as Harvick and Hamilton have been, I have to say I put the two Penske cars as my favorite if they could both make it to Phoenix.
Look at this battle for position. DiBenedetto trying to take the spot away from Martin Truex Jr. Jr. coming up. DiBenedetto trying to hold him off.
I'd say Truex is the car to beat in this race. He has to be. Because he's not even that bad in traffic. He's better in traffic than anybody.
That he wants right now, though. We've seen how good he is at the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's clear for third.
Easily past Matty D in 1 and 2. That's the strength of Martin Truex Jr. Marty.
And on his way up through the field, Martin Truex Jr., who's kind of had to pass a few people in the last few laps, as we have watched, wasn't very happy with a certain teammate. Listen on the radio.
Kyle Busch. Okay, so here's where I'm going to get mad at Martin Truex Jr. again. He's complaining about Denny Hamlin. Fuck you. Denny Hamlin's trying to win the championship too. God, Martin Truex is such a whiny little fuck. What a little bitch. I used to like this guy. Thanks a lot, 11. I can his fucking help there. He's trying to beat you. Hamlin is trying to win a championship just like you. Fuck you, Martin Truex. Fuck you. Goddamn crybaby. What a little bitch. I'm so sick of that shit. Every week with him.
You know, at some point you say, hey, buddy, I can't help you anymore. We're at the point in the season. Or is it all just what's better for the 11 of Denny Hamlin?
Teammates have unrealistic expectations. They want to be helped, right? They want to be helped, but, I mean, you're racing, right? You're racing, and you just got to go do what you got to do. Denny Hamlin has not had a good enough car today to just be giving spots up. Denny's got to do what he's got to do to protect himself.
And this organization, you know, we talked with Adam Stevens earlier in the year with Kyle Busch. He said
he really just expects Hamlin to pull over and make it easy on him.
Where we are. I mean, Denny Hamlin has had
Hamlin's fighting for his fucking life out here. R. Kelly style. He's fighting for his life.
Jr., who hasn't won nearly as many races, completely different from Kyle Busch, who has.
Gee, it's amazing how, like, you take Cole Pern away from Martin Truex Jr., and suddenly Martin Truex Jr. is the same damn driver he was the first 10 years of his worthless career. It's funny how that works. No Cole Pern equals no wins. He's got one win. Wow. Whoop-de-fucking-do. How many different crew chiefs have Hamlin and Kyle Busch had? They never stopped winning. Truex can only win with like one guy on a consistent basis.
Parker, what do you have on Brad? Well, Jeff, that's a big point that Brad and I were talking about earlier this weekend, or whenever it was, basically on Sunday, I guess.
If he wins, if Truex ends up winning this race, don't celebrate because he's got to get through inspection. Been a problem for the 19 car this year.
He just told me these cars are reacting to his inputs and doing things so much more comfortably than what he had last year. He really struggled in this 550 package. That drivability, that's key when you're trying to make moves. I can see that one too.
Got a battle for the lead. Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer.
Way to get by the 18. He's still behind him, but he's been 6 or 8 car lengths back, lap after lap after lap. But Jeff, down here, oh look at Kyle.
You thought Joe Logano was hard to pass.
Clint Boyer running the bottom. The last lap.
That guy in that 18 car ain't exactly easy to pass.
Kyle Busch then goes to the defensive line. Let's see at this end of the racetrack. It's been the same thing. Kyle Busch high, the 14 low. They both enter high. This is the crossover. This is where the 14's been turning down, unable to do it this time. This battle up front has been great. I actually thought they were going to be side by side. Kyle Busch doing a good defensive move.
Clint Boyer's the kind of driver. He really wants to be on that white line at 1 and 2.
I know drivers say dumb shit on the radio, but does anybody cry more than Martin Truex Jr. on the radio?
He loves running the bottom.
After that shit with Chase at Darlington and how he did the same thing to Kurt Busch at the Roval a few weeks ago. It's like, fuck this dude. He doesn't seem too apologetic when he runs somebody over being a jackass, which he's done a lot this year. But the moment he gets raced hard, fuck off. We're in the last 100 laps. What a crazy year. We only got 2 weeks left. What are my racing people going to do until February? Off season's gonna fly by because it's like the shortest off season ever. Because we're gonna be back at it by Valentine's Day. After the first week of February, we're back in business. So still got to get my Bristol tickets. Kind of waiting. I'll ask my dad about it again tomorrow if I remember. If he still wants to go. I got to coordinate this with Dylan and my dad. And get their fucking money and I'll get the damn tickets. I'm going to a dirt race next year. In Cup. That's something I never thought I'd say in my entire life. Really bummed I can't stream that one, though. It's a double-edged sword, but I got to go to a race. I'll be happy to go to the 600 next year to spare me the pain of streaming it, because that's a tough race to get through, but it's better when you're there. And if they bring a left side tire worth the fuck to Charlotte next year, that race will be alright, even with this dumb aero package. Look at Kyle Busch and Boyer both running up in the middle groove in 1 and 2 there. I think Kyle's just mirror driving. Yep, he's mirror driving. Nothing wrong with it. It's just, you know. I'm just glad that they can at least move up that high on the racetrack.
On the lead here at Texas. Kyle Busch has it. But again, a different strategy. Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer, they were on pit road at lap 201 and 199. Mark Truex Jr., who's running in the third.
It doesn't look like they're going to get the cautions they need.
13, so a little over 10
But there's a long way to go yet.
For the 19 team. Then we see Denny Hamlin in the 11.
92 laps to go.
Busch coming up there as well.
Yeah, where the hell's Hamlin at now? He's dropped to 9th.
Hamlin running in the 9th position as Kurt Busch trying to clear Christopher Bell.
Chase Elliott still stuck a lap down.
Further back, Kevin Harvick. He's struggling also. He is only running 17th place. He has not had the speed since that pit stop. Strange to see, Rick. Strange to see this time of year, as fast as the 11 and the 4 have been, for these guys both to be struggling.
Let's go to Parker.
Right, as we watch that 11 car, Denny Hamlin struggling here. You know, that's been the trend for this whole race.
There's Christopher Bell going by Denny Hamlin. Move Hamlin back to 10th.
Said he just couldn't drive the car, and Matt McCall came back and said, listen, dude, you got to drive what we've got. They have rallied, and they're about to get back in the top 10, trying to get around Denny Hamlin for the 10th place. Kurt Busch with a nice rally today. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick absolutely struggling. Jeff, you talked about it a moment ago. They cannot get 1 and 2 right.
And his point situation is still near perfect.
Way too tight. In fact, Harvick restarted 12th on this restart and is now back to 17th. He has lost spots.
He's still 44 points ahead of the cut line.
You look at the points, though. The 4 has a 44-point lead over the cut line. Then 29 points out of the 2.
Hell, at this point, I want that crybaby Truex to win the damn race. Knock Harvick and Hamlin back a little bit. Ideally, the 88 winning would be the best, but I don't foresee that happening now.
Chase Elliott has fallen now, and Alex Bowman, both of those drivers are in a very precarious position as we're getting ready to come down to the final race of this round. Martinsville coming up this weekend.
Yeah, Chase Elliott minus 29, currently sitting 23rd in the running order because he is a lap down. He is in the free pass position. If he can get it going.
Chasing a free pass spot. Can we get a caution, please? Get one of them 2009 Hendrick Motorsports debris cautions.
Earlier, well, when I go back and look at the history, Kyle Busch went 66 laps earlier in this race. So he needs to go 134, basically 133 to the finish. You split up in the middle is really close if he can do it on one stop. So we'll have to see if Kyle Busch can figure it out. Because everyone that pitted 10 laps after him, they know they only have to stop once to finish this race. The 18 of Kyle Busch is going to try to stretch a party, but it's going to be close with my man.
Going to try and stretch it, and to complicate the situation even more, Steve, Kyle Busch just came on the radio to Adam Stevens a moment ago and said, are you hearing a lot about complaints about vibrations?
Yep.
And they said, yep, everybody in the field is talking about it. Kyle said, well, I have one as well. So here they are.
Kyle Busch says he's got a vibration. That should definitely do his vagina some good, but I don't know about his race car.
Us from the chance of winning this race. You don't put the blame on Kyle Busch, but you put pressure on him. You say, you're the only guy, you're the only one, buddy. You have to make the decision.
A lot of racing back in the pack. Brad Keselowski, Matty D, Ryan Blaney. Brad cleared Matty D.
Woo! What a wow!
Just push it out in front straight away. It's been really
that was sketchy.
Back here in the pack. And it continues on.
Those organizations actually working together with Penske, Wood Brothers.
Wood Brothers, the 4th Penske car, basically.
I think this is what that 21 car needs to do, right? Even if it's racing for 5th place, you need to be racing with these other Penske cars. He's behind 1 or in front of 2. That's what you need to do if you're part of this Penske organization, right? The Wood Brothers are teammates with Penske. You need to run with those Penske cars.
Fascinating as we watch these guys race. We talked earlier about the bubble and how it affects these cars and how they move each
Just
other.
waiting till pit stop starting about 23 laps or so.
Because the other thing that happens is there really is
Excuse me.
The leaders are out now. They have a 5.5 second lead on Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, good God. Busch and Boyer on older tires are 5 seconds ahead of the fastest car on the racetrack.
That big spoiler and that lower horsepower, just like Daytona and Talladega, it actually speeds you up down the straightaway. It helps your overall lap time. You can kind of get away from each other in the corner. Martin Truex Jr. has had one of the best cars, but since the leaders have lost touch, he no longer has that toe, that draft. It's just like losing the draft at Daytona. That's happened lap after lap after lap. Now he's 5 seconds, Jeff, behind second. That draft is something that I know we have.
Hell, he's getting even farther behind. Kyle Busch is driving off and leaving Clint Boyer as well.
Yeah, it certainly makes a difference. Just the straightaway speed and the turns 3 and 4 speed get helped also. The only place where you get hurt is in 1 and 2.
And I think as wide as the groove is, you can kind of run the opposite lane, right, to minimize the damage.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, even if you're better up top, you know, run the bottom. I think that's why you see this close racing like this, and they just can't separate from one another. These two are still going at it.
Benedetto up the racetrack, and now Blaney, will he slide up in front? He does, and so Ryan Blaney takes that spot away. So 5th for Ryan Blaney. Benedetto drops.
We've hit dead air, people.
There's Kevin Harvick once again, and continuing to go the wrong direction, it looks like, as John Hunter Nemechek, and the 38 goes to the inside of him.
Kevin Harvick right now is thankful he had a great, wonderful regular season and has all those playoff points, because a plus 44, that's purely because of the season he had leading up to the playoffs, Marty.
Kevin Harvick, yep, not much better handling-wise. Here's what they said on the radio a moment ago.
Tanner, the front real bad this run for whatever reason. Do anything different this time? No, we just raised the track bars off.
And he has lost spots since then. Meanwhile, on the racetrack, Clint Boyer is having an issue. They initially thought it might be an engine problem, but now they're saying they are out of fuel.
Boyer's out of gas?
And Kyle Busch is saying, remember that Boyer pitted much earlier, 199, so here he comes down pit road right now to get fuel.
Well, that was dumb. That's like the dumbest strategy I've ever seen. That's about as good as the 22 of Cindric, their team in the Xfinity Series, how they manage their sets of tires. This is even dumber than that. Boyer can't make it from here. It's 77 to go. He's going to have to pit again. Everybody else is just to pit one more time, and that's it. Well, that was retarded. Move Truex to second.
78 to go, 77 to go. I'm sure it's shocking for the 14 pit box. You know, you get to 70, 68, you say, we're in a window, maybe a yellow, but at 77, that has to be just nerve-wracking for this car, the 18 of Kyle Busch. He has a 7.5-second lead. Look at those green dots. Let's see what he does. He's going to pull right up here behind the 34. Oh, there you go. Half throttle.
Kyle Busch running half throttle down the front stretch, drafting Michael McDowell, and way off the gas in the 1 and 2. Save a little gas, because he just saw Boyer run out and have to pit about 15 laps earlier than they probably expected to have to pit. Don't worry, Kyle, you're only 7 seconds ahead of Truex. How did they get 7 seconds ahead of Truex? Don't you just love Texas Motor Speedway? Ain't you glad we only got 1 points race here next year?
There you go, 10 more laps, 75 laps to go. As Marty just pointed out, you heard Adam Stevens say we need 10 more laps. 7-second lead, Jeff. I know it's crazy. Give it all up. If you can't make it to your pit number, it's not going to matter. You're racing Martin Truex Jr., who has 10 laps.
Hey, Joe Logano's back there in 8th on the same deal, but I mean, he won last week, so who cares?
If you can back up to Martin Truex Jr., you have to find about lap 67 to go, 66 to go to have a realistic shot. This is going to be fascinating.
DiBenedetto pitted at 2:04. That's about 4 laps later than Busch and Boyer.
Let's listen into Martin Truex Jr.'s radio.
I need some drafting help, you know? Stuck here by myself. Yes, sir, I see that. Being a mobile wide open all the way around. Barely cracking it in one. Shit, folks.
Drafting help at 1.5 miles. This aero package is fascinating. The amount of
Oh, yeah, it's fascinating, all right. I got a few other words for it that start with F, if you want to talk about this aero package.
We'll see if Kyle Busch saves enough fuel as we go NASCAR nonstop.
Must just be fucking boring to drive. Like Truex just said, he needs drafting help. He's literally stuck by himself. There's not a car behind him or in front of him. That must be fucking boring. At that point, you might as well be driving down the interstate. Oh, but this air package is so good. I waited from Sunday for this. I'd kill for a caution. I don't know about y'all. We need a bunch of late cautions so NASCAR can lie and say that this was actually a good race. Get like 5 cautions in the last 15 laps. But look at that. We like what we see. Of course, they can always schedule some more cautions. I don't know. Waiting for somebody to cut a tire or something. The way them left sides were wearing and the way Chase Elliott's right side tire looked. I'm waiting for somebody to fucking lose one. If it was warm outside, I'd be more worried. But it's cold there. It's like 40 degrees. There's that Cowboys-Eagles commercial again. Get ready to laugh on Sunday night. Look out, Philadelphia. The circus is coming to town. It's the Cowboys. Circus is coming to town. Get your fucking tickets. Now would be the time to go to a Cowboys game and just laugh. Kyle Busch in heavy lap traffic as the leader. Plenty of draft help, though.
It's going to be so close.
Back at Texas Motor Speedway, 67 laps to go. Kyle Busch trying to stretch the fuel so he can match everybody else's fuel sequence. Adam Stevens told him when you have to flip the switch.
Okay, Kyle's coming. 66 to go when he crosses the line.
Was able to stretch it to 67 laps to go.
They're going to be at 66 on pit road.
It's going to be tight.
It's going to be close. Not that he matters because he's not in the playoffs anyway. So Truex takes the lead now.
Telling him to save fuel, telling him not to pass cars, and do everything he could, even drafting off of the cars to save all the fuel he could. It's going to be 4 junior tires.
Make sure you get it full. He's going to have to go 66 laps.
Should be able to make it to the end, 66 to go, and everybody else will have to get as well.
That's a big, bold should there, Marty. He just ran 68 laps, but 5 of those were under caution. 63 green, 68 under. 68
Christopher Bell's in second. Good for him. Good run. Now DiBenedetto should be the next car to pit road.
The question is, if he knows that earlier in the run, can he save fuel longer? Man, these last 65 are going to be a fuel management mode for Kyle Busch in the 18 car.
When will everybody else?
I'm sure he enjoys that.
He's come to pit road. Well, that
How do you manage fuel when you literally have to run full throttle the whole fucking time or lose 30 spots? NASCAR really didn't think that through, did they?
Then the 18 has a bogey. He knows where you are on the racetrack. So if you're the 19 of Mark Truex Jr., you're trying to run the best laps you can right now to just close that 6-second gap, Parker.
Joey Logano on pit road. Same strategy as Busch and Boyer.
Christopher Bell. He is absolutely flying. He has gotten by Brad Keselowski, he's gotten by Blaney, and he has gapped them by a huge amount.
Wow. Christopher Bell's really fast. That's impressive.
When they both have clean air. This 95 car, we have a new player in the game. The key for them, though, is pit stops. That has been their weak point all year long. They're going to have to get on and off pit road under green with a good pit stop if they're going to have a chance to win this race.
And what a race win it would be for Bob Levine and Levine.
Harvick on pit road, 62 to go.
Just up in the that everyone expected from Kevin Harvick. Obviously,
Yeah, thanks for nothing, Harvick. Denny Hamlin on pit road. John Hunter Nemechek on pit road. 62 to go. Oh, uncontrolled tire. That better be an uncontrolled tire on Harvick. That's got to be a penalty. That's got to be a penalty.
The tire getting away from the floor of Kevin Harvick, at least their crew. It went down the wall. It wasn't out on.
Yeah, but that was way out of their box. That's an uncontrolled tire.
Clearly defined. If it rolls back to the outside half of the pit box, it's a penalty. Anything other than that's a little less clearly defined. It's whether you stay in reasonable control.
Hey, that's a blend line violation on Denny Hamlin. Did you see that? Denny Hamlin did not wait till he got to the dotted line on the backstretch to merge. Remember, they got Allgaier for that in the Xfinity race earlier this year. I'm just saying, if they called Hamlin for that, I'd laugh so hard. They really should, because it's the rule. And they enforced it earlier this year, so enforce it now. Penalize Harvick for the tire and Hamlin for the blend line violation. You want to be fair. Truex on pit road, 59 to go.
James Small ejected from the track back on Sunday. He's back in Huntersville, North Carolina at Joe Gibbs Racing headquarters, and they know after losing 20 points in the penalty, they're in a must-win scenario. To Blake Harris and James Small making the call here. 4 bigger tires, all the Sunoco fuel they can get in the car. 59 laps to go for Truex, who currently has led a lot today and in a position to get that must-win they need if they want to advance to the championship 4.
So we're hearing nothing, no penalty on the 4. Here's Kyle Busch right here. Already service. You're going to see the 19 right there. Goes by Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch should be the leader here when this cycles through.
Everyone has pitted yet. The reason that matters is Kyle Busch now has from there to not only find 3 or 4 laps worth of fuel, not only don't make a mistake, but stay ahead of the 19 partner.
4 tires now. It's a moment who is struggling in traffic. When they've been out front, they've had a very fast car, just not able to replicate that in traffic.
Well, this will be huge for Kyle Busch. No mistakes and saving fuel, Marty.
Non-playoff driver Ryan Blaney having an outstanding run. They've been kind of flirting with the top.
Kyle Busch says he thinks he's blowing up. The fuck? But now Kyle says the gauges are fine. Kyle Busch said he had smoke in the cockpit and that the motor was going to blow, but now they're saying they think it was just rubber buildup. The TV broadcast didn't even catch that, but I read about it on Twitter from Matt Weaver, who is reliable. By the way, Bob Pockrass is the MVP of the week. He was the one handling the rain and weather updates for all of us. He was the first guy I'd go to on Twitter to see what the situation was.
Chase Elliott, that entire run was in the free fast spot. If a caution would have come out, they didn't get it. 4 tires and fuel. They're still trying to recover on the 9 Parker from that time they had to pit twice earlier on.
And what an awesome run for Chris Ravel, this Reliance Family Racing team to pick in the lead.
So Kyle Busch called in a false alarm about his motor. Not seeing any penalty for Harvick or Hamlin, although Hamlin would be a little iffy. But I'm rooting for chaos.
There you go. He's going to remain in second. Will the pace of the 95 continue? I say second, so Boyer is in second. But we know
It's going to stay green, and Kyle Busch will run out on the white flag lap.
I don't think anybody else is pitting. I think Kyle Busch will save. So at this point, in my mind, it's can Kyle Busch make these final 54 laps on a tank of fuel and hold off the 19 of Truex and the 95 of Bell?
Is Truex going to ask Kyle Busch to pull over and let him go by?
Don't worry about Boyer. He's short on gas, so we know it.
Okay, but Steve, the question is, now Kyle Busch, I'm sure he has the information from Adam Stevens saying, okay, we think we can make it, but if you can save me a little bit of fuel, you have a 7-second lead right now. Well, it's 5.5 seconds now over Mark Truex Jr., who ultimately is going to be in second after Boyer does come to pit road. So does Kyle Busch run hard to keep that?
Whoa, Jimmy Johnson's blowing up on pit road.
St.
The hood is up on the 48 and there's smoke everywhere, but he's on pit road.
Such a great run, Jeff. It looks like the engine's expired. Parker, what do you got?
Right, he come on the radio about a lap before and said there's smoke inside the cockpit, and sure enough, as he came down pit road, smoke was billowing out of the exhaust. The team looking under the hood, and definitely some sort of engine issues with 42. Johnson was having a solid top 10 run today.
Hey, just one more thing in this crazy news cycle of 2020. You know, it was announced that
Well, Jimmy Johnson's done for the day.
Richard Childress ECR, their engine programs are going to combine.
You know, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm not cheering for Kyle Busch here. And oh yeah, Boyer took the lead, but Boyer has to pit again. Everybody else can make it to the end. Well, Kyle Busch might be a little short, but Boyer definitely has to pit again. So Kyle just let Boyer take the lead. No big deal. So Kyle Busch still in the catbird seat with 50 to go, as long as he has enough gas to get to the end.
It's kind of an art. I mean, a place like this with so much wide open throttle, it's just going to be what? A toe and part throttle when you can?
Yeah, anything you can do to be off the throttle for longer, right? Just very simple. And being able to get that toe off that 14 car is a huge advantage for Kyle right now. This is really, really smart play by Adam Stevens, the crew chief.
Seriously though, what lap is Truex going to get on the radio and ask if Kyle Busch will pit and let him win the race? What lap? Place your bets now.
And Steve, you're right. They weren't even putting Clint Boyer in their calculus when they were figuring things out. They were referencing everything to Martin Truex Jr., their teammate. That's what they based.
Oh, ironically, a Gibbs car is going to take a Gibbs car out of the championship race.
15 laps short. Will draft off of him. Adam Stevens is doing an outstanding job trying to coach Kyle Busch through all of this fuel station.
Denny Hamlin on his radio. Fucking Eric. Talking about Almirola.
The race and as laps wind down, you know who you were racing when these strategy calls come in. Let's listen in to that 18 radio.
You said you needed 10 more laps, and like 2 more we had to come, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't believe anything I say. Keep saying it, be easy on it.
Don't believe anything I say, although he's been talking, as Marty mentioned, almost every lap.
This is, I've been where Adam Stevens, and I've been on both sides. I mean, maybe everyone doesn't remember, but it started in my brain. It ran out of gas coming off turn 4 at the Coca-Cola 600. Ran out of gas off turn 2 at Las Vegas. You know, the math of fuel consumption is solid. The question mark on the math is you have to take a few variables, which is, hey, is the car completely full? How much fuel is in the car? You know, you think you fill it up, but was there an air bubble? Was the car jacked up? There's so many different things. They have a better understanding now with the live data and the driver input that they can kind of predict where they're at. But Marty, there's still, you know, every math equation gets to be a little questionable when you can't define every single number within it.
Well, they know they have it full, so that's one thing, Steve. And Adam Stevens keeps telling Kyle.
I just tweeted Truex's old lady. I asked her, I said, so on what lap is he going to complain about Kyle not pulling over and letting him win? Because Sherry, bless her, was bitching on Twitter that TV only plays Truex's radio when he's complaining. So I just asked her, what lap number is Truex going to start bitching about Kyle Busch not letting him win this race? What do you think? Yeah, I'd say you could stick a fork in Kurt Busch today, but miracles have happened at Martinsville. Honestly, at this point, I'm cheering for Kyle Busch. I never thought I'd really say that, but I don't hate Kyle Busch, but I don't actively cheer for him. But right now, I'm kind of pulling for him. Boyer's a non-factor. He's going to run out of gas. He absolutely has to pit no matter what. But my God, Bill is catching Truex. Huh. That's an interesting development I didn't see coming. I knew Bill was fast, but wow. And look at all that traffic.
It's just that simple, and then Kyle's going to have to do what Adam says.
So, Jeff, I'm going to ask you a question with this new style of racing of 2020. If you're Christopher Bell and you're better, is there an advantage to maybe push the 19 down every straightaway, try to find a combined...
Interesting.
Or you just pass them and drive on?
Certainly not because of what's going on the track. Just the implications of what could happen in the next 43 laps or so. God, Bill is really fast. He's going to get killed off of 2 here because the 37's in his way.
Both of these cars
He got super tight off of 2. But he got a nice pull down the back from the 37. And he's right on Truex going to 3. He's just got to hope he can get around him. If he can run where Truex doesn't, he'll be okay. Well, goddamn, I might have to start cheering for Bell. If Bell can get by Truex, I hope Kyle Busch runs out of gas. He's got clean air through 1 and 2, running the bottom. Not enough of a run to get to him that time. But damn, what a story this would be. Suddenly, I'm excited. They're only going to catch Kyle if Kyle runs out of gas. They're 5 seconds behind Kyle Busch. They're not going to make that up, even with 40 laps or whatever. But this is pretty interesting. And because it's 2020, I would almost expect Kyle Busch to run out of gas here and Christopher Bell win this race, because why not? This would be huge. That would be a feel-good moment of the year. Gotta admit. I kind of want to see it now. Actually, there's no kinda to it. I want to see it. Kyle Busch waited on gas about 2 extra seconds on pit road, so I kind of feel like Kyle's gonna make it, or it'll be really close. But we know Bell and Truex can make it.
You're talking about, Steve, would the pace at which you lower the left side of that car, would that determine also if you get it completely full? Because
So is Truex just gonna bitch about everybody driving a Toyota raced him hard, like they're just supposed to pull over and let him win or something? I don't understand. Well, if these cars didn't totally suck, Bell would have already passed him as fast as he's clearly faster.
Well, guess what? The only reason I knew that, I watched them do it. So the 18 did that on their last stop. As this battle continues, Christopher Bell.
This could be your battle for the win.
Christopher Bell could ever find a way around him. He's faster than Martin, but it's just so hard to pass. Now, keep in mind,
They're not going to make up 5 seconds, though, unless Kyle runs out. Well, actually, they're a 1/10 and a half a second faster than Kyle. They've gained a little time on him. Hell, they might catch him even if he doesn't run out of gas. They might actually get to him. I don't know. I didn't think there was any chance in hell of them catching Kyle, but now I'm starting to wonder. If they're that much faster, they can do it. Bell, win this race. That would be fucking amazing. It would have been totally worth waiting 3 days to see Bell win this race. They got 35 laps.
This is the left sides as they put the left side tires on. Look how slow they lower the jets. Small details make.
Look how long Kyle waited on gas, though, under that last pit stop. I noticed that when it was happening. Wait on gas, wait on gas. The 2 extra seconds of waiting on gas. Really 3, because they lowered the jack really slow.
That's great. We saw communication issues between Greg Ives earlier today and Alex Bowman about how to leave and not to leave. I only pick on that because that could be the difference between Alex Bowman's race. You don't know what kind of track position he would have. Look at the communication between Adam Stevens and Kyle Busch right there. Kyle Busch was crystal clear on what had to be done, even though he was running out of gas and knew he had to stretch it. So many things going through his mind. Jeff, that's great leadership.
So if this gets close with a couple laps to go, I'm going to turn the leaderboard off because the leaderboard is ahead of my NBC app. So I would be tempted to glance over and to see into the future of what was actually happening because, like I said, the NBC app's a little behind. So if it gets close to the end and my screen goes black, don't worry. That would be by design. So fucking hard to pass with these piece of shit cars.
Hey Jeff, here's something you'll hear every day. Kyle Busch says the lap cars are getting out of the way too easily.
What? Kyle Busch says the lap cars are getting out of the way too easily. He can't catch a draft. Well, come on, Kyle. That's respect. We need to get Garrett Smithley out there. I bet he'd get in the fucking way.
Interesting point to consider, Parker. Kyle Bell is slowed way down. Eventually out of
Where is Quinn Half? He's out there somewhere, ain't he?
Run, but you got to wonder if he's really going to know how the car is. Can he keep his teammates behind him when he goes full throttle and tries to battle for the win?
And Marty, to add another factor to all this as we watch this battle for the win we get later in this race. You know, as I walk down pit road after all those green flag stops were completed, I still saw some left side tires that had a lot of wear that showed some of those issues we've seen throughout this race. And so I asked
Martin Truex's tampon got jammed in Kyle Busch's motor.
stage, you're going to be going as far as you can. Therefore, if you hear the words vibration, that can make some hearts drop, Marty.
Hey, Parker, let's keep an eye on Kyle Busch. Adam Stevens told him they're getting pretty close to us. They're about a second and a half behind. Time to, quote, start rolling. So we'll see if Kyle Busch's lap times can pick up because, Jeff, you're right. The 1995 catched him very quick.
Hey, Truex's old lady responded to me, but she was friendly. I was being friendly, too. I was being sarcastic. I'm glad she didn't get mad because I actually like her. But I had to make the joke. It was too obvious.
Guess what's going to happen? He's going to burn more fuel. And when he did go to pick his pace up, he just ran the fastest lap on the racetrack. So Kyle Busch had some...
Ooh, the drama. The slow, developing, single-file, strung-out drama, but drama nonetheless. 30 laps to go. We're coming to 29 now. And they are closing in on Kyle Busch. Bell has dropped back a little bit. He's not all up on Truex like he was now that they're in cleaner air. There's really nobody around them or in front of them or anything. You know, I asked her the question. She said, she put the laughing emoji and said, I'll let you know in about 20 laps. Like, yeah. See, I'll show you, as a matter of fact. I'll go to my Twitter on now. Ain't nothing going to happen for about 20 laps anyhow, so. Sherry Pollux, the girlfriend of Martin Truex. This was our Twitter exchange. If you can read it. I know the text is really small on my screen.
Chase Elliott right here. He has run, I don't know how many laps, one lap down, and here he is in the 21st position. A miscue as simple as coming to pit road and leaving and then having a tire pit. I don't even know that's technically.
In all seriousness, her husband is a crybaby on the racetrack, but she's a fucking hero. She's a warrior. So bless that woman. But her husband's still a douchebag. Well, at least he is behind the wheel. Tell you who's not having a good day, Chase Elliott. This has been fucked. We've been green all this time. He can't get his lap back.
He has found himself in the 10th position at plus 27. This grind might be exactly what Hamlin needs.
Well, what also Hamlin needs is his teammate to win.
Denny Hamlin needs Kyle Busch to win and not Truex.
But be careful which teammate, because it's
he doesn't want Martin. He doesn't want Martin to win, but he would love to see Kyle Busch win because of the situation that he is in. You look at the points.
My fandom of Truex dates back to Chance 2 and DEI. I was always really big on Truex from like 2003 up until like 2015 or 16. Really, I didn't mind him up until like the last year or two. He just became such a whiny little prick. I was at the 600 when he and his team asked David Reagan with 5 laps to go if they would pull off the front row and just go to the back so Truex could restart on the front row. Because, like, David Reagan stayed out or took 2 tires and was starting on the front row with Ryan Newman with 5 to go in the 600. And Truex and Cole Perm were asking if he'd move over and just drop to the back so they could move up. I'm like, seriously? That was one of the first big things that kind of turned me off Truex. I mean, what kind of stupid question is that? Hey, man, it's only 5 to go, but will you, like, pull over and let me have the lead on this restart?
And this is why. Building up that big cushion, now they're plus 41.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick's had such a bad day, but he's plus 41 going to Martinsville. By the way, Boyer just pitted. And Martin Truex is within 7/10 of Kyle Busch and still closing and bringing Bell with him. It's just he's not being pressured by Bell like he was. I was a big DEI Chance 2 fan, so like I said, I go way back with Truex.
Yeah, they're going to go back and look at this one as one that maybe.
So when I'm complaining about him, it's got to be bad.
Either way, that's going to relinquish the lead to 18.
I said earlier in the stream before you got here, I think, I said, notice how you take Cole Pern away from Martin Truex, and he's the same driver that he was the first useless 8 or 9 years of his Cup career.
9/10 of a second. The 19 running in the second position. Listen to his
He might win today, though. He's closing. Actually, no, Kyle's picked it up now. That was a minute ago. He was 7/10 back. Now he's a full second back. I think Kyle Busch is picking it up with 21 to go. Maybe they'll get racing hard and Christopher Bell can pass him. Although Bell is losing ground to Truex and Busch. Not by much, but he's not close enough to pounce.
Has lost a little bit of ground to the 19, but the 95 car was exceptionally fast at the end of that long green flag run.
Well, let's see what Bell's got in about 15 to 20 laps.
And Christopher Bell get his car to do what it was doing. He just ran the fastest lap on the racetrack that time. Can he find
He closed on Truex again there. And Truex isn't making a lot of ground on Kyle Busch like he was. You know Kyle Busch going to run out of gas. It's 2020, bro. It's still 2020. Kyle Busch will run out of gas.
That last lap, these three drivers ran within 0.06 of a second of each other as far as lap times. That's how good each one of these drivers are right now, running almost identical lap times.
And you wonder if Kyle Busch jinxed himself when he talked about how good the lap cars have been. Right?
It's 2020.
Lap car, he catches that guy wrong, and Martin Truex Jr.
Boy,
all over him.
the caution's just going to fuck everything up if it happens.
Now he's hearing that once again. Marty.
With 5 to go, I'm turning the leaderboard off. Are we in agreement?
And then simultaneously they're saying, hey, if you could save us a little bit, that would help as well. Adam Stevens told him 2 laps ago, no matter what, 10 to go, we're going to hit our switch and just get what we can get out of it. I'm not sure they're convinced Kyle can make it to the end. I'm not sure anyone knows.
I'm iffy on if he can make it to the end. I'm usually wrong, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Not really. Look, the 0-0 got out of the way for once. Where were you when Quinn Half got the fuck out of the way?
Win for Kyle Busch. He is normally just dominant, just fast, just pits, puts 4 tires on, and outruns you, right? Jimmy Johnson-esque. That's what Jimmy did through the 2000s. Is he just beat you with the faster race car? Well, when you got into the 10s, you know, Kyle Busch just said, hey, bring your best, I'll bring my best, and I'll see you at the start-finish line, and that's how he won races. Now we're seeing a veteran, a 2-time champ, in a disappointing season, finding or maybe proving he has a skill set we haven't needed to see.
Well, I guess it's good Kyle got eliminated because this would put him at Phoenix if he holds on and wins, if he hadn't been eliminated already.
It's so much information that he needs, right? And Marty's talked about it multiple times, how Adam Stevens has just been feeding him that information for the last really over 100 laps. What he needs to do to get the fuel mileage, to put himself in position.
15 laps to go.
They're sitting right there.
Truex is not gaining anymore. He added under a second. It's over 1.2 now. It's going to take Kyle running out of gas, like I originally thought.
Really had to save about 7 laps in that first part of the run so that he could get to this point where he could race Martin Truex Jr.
He ran 67 laps with 5 yellows. If you use
Truex is 7 laps better than Kyle, and Bell is 11 laps better than Kyle, tires and fuel.
green flag laps earlier. When he pitted at lap 268, he needs to go 66. So he ran 60.
1.3, it's getting bigger. He's not catching him.
64 and a half earlier by my
Hey, who's that in that 4 car? It's Kevin Harvick. Is Corey LaJoy slow on the back? Nah, he's just slow in general. Sorry. I actually thought Corey was having a problem, but he's actually just that slow. Move along, Corey. Or bring out a caution and we can party. I don't know. Harvick will get the fuck out of the way. He ain't going to slow him up. Harvick doesn't want Truex winning because that would put Harvick in a slightly more precarious situation. So I would expect Harvick to get the fuck out of the way. That's what I'm saying.
That puts a lot of pressure, way more pressure on the 4 car going
I'm going to say Kyle Busch, if he's going to run out, it'll be within a lap and a half of the finish. Maybe on the last lap. It's going to be tight.
It will be for the 18 to get by the 4.
I think Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick are perfectly happy where they're at.
Harvick's moving up to give Kyle the clean air on the bottom. Kyle's going to get one big draft off of Harvick down the front stretch here, and then Harvick will probably swing wide and let Kyle go under him into 1. Let's see what he does. Harvick moved up. Kyle kind of ran the same line anyway. Truex has a second on Bill. 10 laps to go. They're telling Kyle to slow it down until 5 to go. There's 10 to go now. So for the next 5 laps, Kyle's going to back off a little bit. And you can see it because Truex has gained 3/10 in the last lap. He's got it back down to a second. But if Truex gets any closer, you're going to have to ramp it up probably. Because Truex has gained, like I said, but it's just because Kyle's backing down. Man, my dream scenario of Bill winning this race ain't going to play out, but, you know.
I think I like what Kyle Busch is doing right here. It's time to go. I towed as long as I could, but I feel like the 19's getting closer because there he is in my...
Truex has it under a second now. He better get rolling. Harvick, you let him go, man. Harvick's killing him. That cost Kyle 2 seconds there, Harvick being that close to him. Truex has got it down to almost half a second with 8 to go. 4/10 of a second. It's time to go, Kyle. It's either going to run out or it's not. You got to go now. Truex is there. If I was Harvick, I'd have run Truex's line so bad. I'd have done the Logano. I'd have just mirror drived him every which way. But Harvick pulled over and let Truex go. He was fair about it. In the past, I would have expected Harvick to be a dick there, especially with Truex, but he let him go. So now Kyle's picked it back up again. It's back to a second. It was to 4/10, and now it's right at a second. This is a big deal. If Truex gets this spot and wins, that's going to knock Brad out for now. And then Hamlin will only be 2 points ahead as opposed to 27 ahead. So there's a lot riding on this next 6 laps.
People ask me all the time, what do you miss about racing this? You see Adam Stevens? He is completely absorbed.
We're coming to 5 to go. I'm going to minimize the leaderboard.
Giving him the information.
If I can. Okay, leaderboard's off. We're going to look at a black screen for a little while if y'all don't mind. 5 laps to go. I don't want any spoilers on that damn leaderboard. When the results are up at the end of the race, I'll go back to it. Hovering at about a second. Coming to 4 laps to go. I'd almost start backing off a little bit again now that you've gapped him again. You've gapped him. It's 1.3 seconds. You can back off again if you feel like you need to. And he is. He's half throttle. As he crossed the start-finish line, he was already off the gas. 4 to go. Let's see how early he lifts going to 3. If he lifts at all. He's not going to lift at all going to 3.
When we talked to him toward the end of the regular season, he said, yeah, making the playoffs, it's big, but not nearly as big as the win streak I have going. I have a
3 laps to go.
16 years of my career in.
Clench your butt cheeks. 3 to go.
I want to win. That's what I want to do more than anything. I want to be able to say I've won every year of my
Oh, the irony. If this ends this way.
To get into the championship for the 19, Mark Truex Jr. has to win.
2 laps to go.
2 laps to go in Texas.
I think he's going to make it. I probably just jinxed him, but I think he's going to make it.
still asking for fuel savings. 2 laps to go.
Under a second.
Now for the 18 of Kyle Busch.
8 tenths.
Fuel mileage, Steve. It's just all about fuel mileage. Manage your fuel. He cannot get there. He cannot get to you if you don't run out of fuel.
Remember Saturday in the Xfinity Series, it was a last lap pass for the win.
1 lap to go.
1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. One more time around. Can Kyle Busch
7 tenths of a second. 6 tenths of a second. They're coming out of 2.
Kyle Busch had was when he won the championship at the end of the year.
Half a second. If he was to run out now, he'd be fucked.
Did he save enough fuel? Through 3 and 4.
He's going to make it, I think.
Down to the bottom of the racetrack. He has done it.
And Kyle Busch wins.
Kyle Busch wins at Texas.
He had enough gas. I had a feeling he'd make it. Christopher Bell 3rd. Truex 2nd. Blaney 4th. Alex Bowman 5th. By God, Kyle Busch finally figured out how to win a real race again. Way to go, Kyle. You got your balls back.
Won a lot of races.
That was like watching an F1 race, though, wasn't it?
It was great to get that win.
And you know, Jeff, a lot of whispers.
So I said earlier, if Kyle wins, is this going to be a subdued celebration, or is he actually going to be pumped?
Well, this is as good as I've seen a race managed. There you go, Kyle Busch. Thank you. This win, you said it, Rick. He just wanted to continue the streak. Can't go back and start over. 15 years.
And he's got enough fuel to do a burnout.
We have another different winner this year. That's good for parity.
So much familiarity with Victory Lane.
Toyota 123. I'm not watching this shit anymore. I'm kidding.
He's still 10th all time on the wins list at 57.
Well, that keeps Truex out of Phoenix for now, although Truex is going to be strong at Martinsville, so it's a long way from over. Boy, Chase Elliott got shit on today, didn't he?
It had been a struggle.
Alex Bowman didn't exactly come out of this in great shape either.
After the pandemic break.
Just never caught a caution. It was green all the way to the end, so.
From practice and then on to the race. Well, when you eliminate practice and you start at a certain
At least I can say I was interested in this race.
behind and never could catch up during the race. Well, this time they had a great
Yeah, Bowman could get in, but
They saved the fuel they needed.
social distance call.
He's got an evidence fan there.
Give the kid the flag, Kyle. Don't be an ass.
And a checkered flag again for Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch won a race.
The bow.
Denny Hamlin top 10. That's going to put him in good shape. Where'd Harvick end up? 16th.
Helmet's coming off.
Where'd Elliott end up? Like 30th?
Let's go to Parker.
Well, I think we're all waiting for the bow. Where's the bow? It's been a really long time. Been a while.
Kyle forgot to do the bow.
We'll give you a second. There it is.
He's so excited about winning he forgot to do the bow. Now do a backflip.
Kyle, I want to ask you about
Be a man.
that last run, trying to balance fuel saving with Martin Truex Jr. coming at you. How did you do that? I don't know.
Okay, Elliott ended up 20.
Great leadership and mentoring from Adam and from Tony. And those guys just keep talking to me, keep reminding me about saving and being able to do what I could, trying to stay in the draft as much as I could on the straightaways. And, you know, it ran out coming right in here to do a burnout. So I had enough to get a little bit of a burnout. I don't know if I'm...
Wow, he was pretty close to running out.
I can't say enough about Adam Stevens and everybody at Joe Gibbs
He was
Racing.
right on the money.
Appreciate all your hard work.
He had less than a lap to go after the checkered before he runs out.
Zombie machine looks bad to the bone. It's really, really awesome. And
I like that paint scheme.
I had to do a zombie remake here. This is what we've all looked like around here for the last 3 days, right? Yeah. Everybody just zombied into their phone. So I wasn't planning on that, but it kind of worked with this weekend, but more so in the times. This is going for auction. People can buy their tickets to win raffle, $18 a piece at bundleofjoyfund.org, or go to Kyle Busch.
KyleBusch.com.
Let me ask you, you've won 15 a race for the last 15 seasons. You said it was a 16-year investment. If you didn't get one this year, you finally got it.
Yeah, we got it, and I was so nervous I was nervous a little bit like the whole last run, but I've been in this position so many times.
I've never seen Kyle Busch this chill, have you?
That's like winning a championship. That's how nervous it was, and I can't believe it, but so proud to just be here. My team guys, awesome pit stops. They're phenomenal. Appreciate M&M's, Interstate Batteries, Rowdy Energy Drink, and you know, we're ready to fight next year. We'll be back.
It's your 57th win of your career. Does this one mean a lot?
He's too good to not win a race. You knew he was going to figure it out.
Yes and no. I mean, they all mean a lot, right? There's certain circumstances and certain specialties to all of them, but this one means a lot just to keep the 16 going. Obviously, we're out of the playoffs. We had nothing to shoot for. Everybody thought we were duds, and we don't ever give up.
That's a pretty excited Kyle Busch down here, guys.
That's like the most genuinely happy I've ever seen this dude. Like, he's pretty chill and happy just to win a race.
He wins so often, or he used to win so often.
He used to win so often. Rick Allen, dig the knife in, why don't you?
The big smiles there for Kyle Busch in getting this win.
I tell you what resonated right there, a man that's won 2 championships, who has broken both legs in a race car, who's won all the big races, who has 56.
He ain't won Daytona 500, though.
This level,
Yeah, I'm going to use that against him. He ain't won the Daytona 500.
as nervous as the championship those last 3 laps. I mean, think about that. This is the guy who's guessing.
Earnhardt got his balls busted for 20 years, so can Kyle Busch.
Tells you what, you know, the third from last race in a season can mean to a
Stenhouse finished 12th. Did you notice that?
It was all about continuing his winning streak, Jeff.
Yeah, listen, Kyle Busch right there, you know, showed the emotion and how much winning means to him. And listen to this. This is who he joined with 16 straight years of the win. Richard Petty, David Pearson, Jimmy Johnson, Rusty Wallace, Ricky Rudd. That's a who's who of NASCAR, right? To join that list, that's just an incredible accomplishment. And you know, listen, Kyle Busch said everybody thought they were duds. No one thinks Kyle Busch and Adam Stevens are going to give up, right? Those guys are going to bring it every single week. They just have not had the performance.
Wednesday night racing. We got through it.
And Kyle Busch will be headed to Speedy
I'll hang around for another couple minutes or so.
at Texas. And for Kyle
Goddamn,
Busch,
thank God that race got run,
pretty
dude. Like,
impressive.
fuck.
His 16th straight season with
Sat here for 3 days waiting.
and a 4th win here at Texas.
NASCAR's like, look, Truex was close. What a great race. It really wasn't that great of a race, but it was at least compelling to watch.
Executed it perfectly, said he ran out of gas just as he was.
Yeah, that's the most humble I've ever seen Kyle Busch in my life. And for him to actually mean it. I was like, oh, look at him. He's just happy to win. That made me feel good. I can't believe it. I actually felt good watching Kyle Busch win a race. I was like, oh, good for him. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Fuck this asshole. But no. Motherfucker. Never mind. Hold on a second. I got to type a message. Can't believe Kyle made me be like, oh, good for him. Martinsville. Trucks on Friday night at 8. I gotta see what time the Xfinity race is Saturday, because I might have to work Saturday, but I'm sure if I'm working on Saturday, I'll be home. My dad ain't gonna want to fucking work long on a Saturday. Why did I go to Facebook and not NASCAR.com?
Special guest on Dale Jr. Download. That is tomorrow night at 9 p.m.
So, schedule Xfinity. So I know trucks are Friday night at 8. Kyle Busch can't get to victory lane. He's out of gas. That's how fucking close it was. So yeah, trucks. Friday night 8. Xfinity. Saturday at 3:30. I'll be home. So, Logano, Harvick 42 to the good. Hamlin 27 to the good. Keselowski 25 up. Bowman and Elliott both 25 out. Truex 36 out. Kurt Busch 81. It's must win for the other guys. That's going to be your final 4 Unless Brad DNFs with no stage points or Hamlin DNFs with no stage points. Or unless Bowman, Elliott, Truex, or Kurt Busch win. So I think your Final Four is just about set.
Needs a push, as Kyle's gonna have to get a push.
And I missed Dale Jr. in the booth tonight.
You know, so we laugh, but think about that. Think about the precision that Adam Stevens and Kyle Busch pulled off right here. To run just hard enough and have just enough fuel left. I mean, that's...
Got to push him through the quarter mile to get to victory lane.
He couldn't have slowed down much more and he wouldn't have won the race. But not enough fuel to get back to pit road. That's an incredible job.
The leadership on top of the pit box, that was great. But
Look at that. He's so happy. And he's not like dickhead Kyle Busch happy. He's just like, oh, man, I'm so glad I won this race. Have y'all ever seen Kyle Busch be like this? That's remarkable. And I love that paint scheme. Put that in Heat 5 already when I play it 8 years from now.
Martin Truex was running down.
Oh, poor Truex.
Trying to force him maybe to use more fuel. Did you know his fuel situation?
Yeah, they told me. They knew we knew he's close.
He was right on the edge.
The only thing we could do at that point is just, which we did all day anyway, was just try to run flat out. So, hell of an effort by the Bass Pro guys and, everybody that helps us. It just seems like one of them years we're second, third, fourth. We're right there a lot. We just needed a little bit more to be better.
You guys are 36 points below the cut line.
He'd only be 16 below if they didn't lose those points Sunday.
Yeah, it's high. I think, coming here we had, a lot of confidence, and obviously we had a strong run. Just, this time of the year, playoffs, second's great, but it's not good enough, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, just excited about Martinsville. I know we can win there, and obviously we've showed that in the past, but it's a new race and a new week, and we'll have to, figure out how to be better than we've been there to feel like everybody will get better. So, looking forward to it, excited about the opportunity, to get to do this and hopefully put ourselves in another.
Kyle Busch got a poverty win, Austin Dillon style.
I can't say enough. We lack just a tiny bit of speed off the 18.
Positive attitude for Martin Truex. This 19 team might get them to championship 4.
Well, he's going to have to fight. He's got a few good ones up there in front of him that he's going to have to try to battle with to get into that championship 4. But we saw some good things, obviously, out of Martin Truex Jr. here in this race.
Poverty win, that's what I'll call it. Whenever somebody that hasn't won in a long time or doesn't do that well usually wins on fuel mileage or fucked up strategy, we'll call it a poverty win. This was a poverty win.
Would it surprise you if Chase Elliott won at Martinsville, or the 19 of Truex, even the one of Kurt Busch?
Chase Elliott wins at Martinsville. I'm going to jump through this ceiling right here.
I know it was going to be a disappointing year because he's not still in the playoffs, but this moved to his #1 priority, and they pulled it off. So good for one, Gibbs' car, not so good for the other, but we'll see. Truex sound pretty confident, Jeff, and I would never bet against him going to Martinsville.
Yeah, I look a little further down the field. I can't help but feel bad for Alex Bowman. He finished.
Bowman got a top 5 and he's still 25 points out.
Alex Bowman and that 88 team, they brought a lot of performance to the playoffs, but it hasn't resulted in moving him up the field. It's just competition's that tough. Big day for Kyle Busch.
Yee.
Big day for him to continue that streak.
I think Truex said it the best, Rick.
Kyle Busch going to be like Borat in Victory Lane with those 6 shooters. I am movie star and Dirty Harold.
Racing for a championship, you need to expect to win in this round.
Think about what everyone has done here at Texas Motor Speedway. NASCAR,
3 fucking days. For
the
Kyle Busch to win, I quit.
An amazing job. This has been the second longest red flag that we know of. Obviously, the longest since 1973. This race started.
Okay, that makes sense, because I could never remember anything like this in my entire lifetime. 1973 was the last time something like this happened.
Kyle Busch is the one who is celebrating in victory lane. He will savor this one for quite some time.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to get off here and prepare to go to bed and hope that the weather is just so damn bad tomorrow that they don't even want to get out on the road and go to work. But because they're planning on it, I got to go to bed. I took a chance last night and was up at 2 in the morning on the phone, but I'm not going to take a chance tonight. I'm going to try to sleep. Shouldn't be a problem. I'm pretty tired. But anyway, I guess I'll see y'all Friday night